Yo, what's up, dudes? What the fuck? Been demoted. You no longer go on my desk. Brian, Vince, Liam, David, Kat, what's good? Great. Alright. Yo, we're gonna start off with Fat Electrician. And then after Fat Electrician, we'll get into some other videos. I want to do this one because, Vince, I'm sorry that I make you wait so long, man. But I truly admire your patience with me. And I really want to watch today's video simply because this video is a story that it's about the movie, right? I got Tanner. Smacking. Nah, Katai, I think it's just because you haven't seen me in a couple days. It just depends. A lot of sunlight coming through my room right now, so it like, and the filters I have on my camera give everything kind of like a, and especially this ring light. All right. Is this you? Yo, MacBook, settle the fuck down, alright? I just updated you? Huh? Fine. No need to be this fucking hot and upset. Yo, by the way, I watched Superman last night. I said fuck going. I really wanted to go to the theater to watch it, but I said fuck going to the theater, and I just rented it on Amazon. And it was not a cheap rental because it's so new to the streaming platforms. It was $14. But I feel like it was $14 well spent. I enjoyed it. There was like... there was a couple things in the movie that was like, well, that's just convenient, isn't it? Right? But aside from that, I enjoyed what I saw. I enjoyed what I watched. I enjoyed the portrayal. There's one scene in the movie that it didn't really have a payoff, and it was at the very beginning of the movie. There wasn't much, and the scene was long, like, in my opinion, too long. And then I was expecting some kind of payoff in the middle of the film or towards the end, and kind of in a way, yeah, but no, not really. There was like one thing in there that didn't have like a correct payoff, and in my head I was like, that begs the question, why even put that scene in there to motherfucking begin with? But I don't know, I was digging it, and I was digging Lex Luthor's portrayal. I like that actor. They both seem very, very, like, they're young, right? I saw some people saying like, oh, he's too young to play a Lex. Says who, man? I've seen Lex old, I've seen him young, I've seen him middle-aged, I've seen him my age, I've seen different variations of Lex Luthor at different ages. But he's just as young as, they're both the same age, I feel. Lex and Superman are the same age. Probably 33, 35, something like that. 1A, 1A, 1A. That shit was cool. I really do like how he was controlling Ultraman, because Ultraman was kind of mindless. And you know what? That I want to say they set up Bizarro. They set up Bizarro because Ultraman was a clone of Superman, correct? Right. So, yo, spoilers, okay? Earmuffs. Cover your fucking ears if you haven't. Just mute. Turn me off. In the movie, he sends Ultraman flying through that black hole. There's no telling where the fuck Ultraman ends up, right? And then he just went through a black hole Who knows what that does to his body? Who knows what that does? I'm pretty sure he becomes Bizarro. Maybe, hopefully, that'd be cool. Yo, Alexander, what's good, man? No, I thoroughly liked it. Yeah, they set up Bizarro for that. Like, that Ultraman, he might be mindless, but I'm pretty sure he still might be feeling a certain kind of way about getting his ass whooped by Clark. And, you know, Bizarro, man, he's always the one that is like, oh, I'm stronger and all this stuff, so. What was y'all's favorite part of the movie? My favorite part of the movie that had me fucking dying, bar none, was when Lex Luthor was in the middle of an angry rant towards Superman and Crypto comes out of nowhere and starts beating the fuck out of him. Straight Bruce Banner style. Remember when the Hulk just grabbed Loki and just started flipping him around? Fucking, oh my god, that shit had me rolling. That shit was hilarious. I couldn't. I laughed out loud. And that was another thing in the movie. I kept like getting kind of confused. I was like, I can't tell if Clark is just a bad dog owner, or maybe he just like, when did this dog get here? Because I was like, you know, you really could act like you care more about this dog when you talk to, like, something felt off, right? It makes sense. It's not his dog. For the majority of the movie, I thought it was his dog. And I was like, I feel like my relationship with my dog is way better than your relationship with Crypto. How is that even possible? And you've had him for 33 years? It's fucking Kara's dog. And Kara's an alcoholic party girl that don't give a fuck about being Kryptonian. Drunk ass Supergirl. I was like, that makes sense. Yeah, that's why the dog's the ass clown, because she's an ass. Yeah. That was good. I think Bizarro is weak against red kryptonite. Probably. Maybe. I can't remember. Another really funny part that I really liked. When Guy Gardner shows up in Bavaria and starts using his Green Lantern abilities, and it's nothing but fucking fly swats and middle fingers. Yo, that shit was epic. Mr. Terrific was epic. He had a really cool fight scene. That shit was bomb. Okay, that's enough about that. I should tell y'all. Oh yeah. Oh shit, that was 5 days ago. This right here. The Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare's Demolition Man, Robert de la Rochefoucauld. Fuck it. Robert. Rochefoucauld, I think.
When I was 12, I got my first job shot.
Rochefoucauld.
So I could buy my
I think that's what it is. I gave up too fast.
Education is the key to everything. As delegate, I'll bring home more state funding for our public schools because our students and teachers deserve it.
Okay, correct me if I'm wrong. This is one of the actual characters from the movie, right? I'm gonna wait for an answer before I proceed.
I don't cover non-Americans very.
Why does it only... What is wrong?
Often, but when I do, you know it's.
This volume bar is so strange. Look how much space is left. That I can't go past this.
Something absolute.
Whatever. I don't think so, but same group. Yeah, Liam, that was my favorite part of the whole movie. My absolute favorite part. I'm trying to think of Yo, isn't it kind of crazy? Isn't it kind of crazy that Superman was actually sent there to take over the planet? Isn't that wild? That's like that's such a different take that I was used to seeing, but I kind of dig it, man, because it makes his family here on Earth seem that much more important, right? Just added some more depth to the depth to the character because he could have easily just been like, you know what, fuck it, and you took my dog, I'm burning everybody, right? Like, so easy for him to have like gone the route of a Homelander, so easy for him to have gone the route of an Omni Man, right? But because he was devoted to that idea for 33 years, right? And then he finds out that that's a lie, and still, steadfast. I like that part of the character because it actually adds it adds good depth to the character, right? He had to make that choice, whereas in that choice is really already made for him in every other movie. Man, he's supposed to be good, right? Kind of. You thought that was weird? I thought that was cool. All right, here we go.
Absolutely crazy. Today we're talking about.
Oh, I did like the whole Justice Gang too. I did like the Justice Gang, and I do like how, man, when I saw the trailer and I was seeing like just news on my feed about this movie, I saw Guy Gardner and I was like, oh my god, dude, he looks awful. That actually, he doesn't look bad. The haircut is killing me, right? And then in the movie, they actually say that. Like, Lois makes fun of him. She's like, that haircut should also be against your fucking vows. And that shit made me laugh. That was really, really good. I was like, I love that was part of the dialogue because I said that exact same thing before I even watched the movie. I was like, that fucking haircut, why? Right? And then they even mention it like, yo, your haircut's fucking stupid. Oh, fuck. Yo, Sko, what's good, man? Oh, the volume bar. Yeah, it's stupid. At least that's how it looks like on PC. It looks completely... Well, there is no volume bar on mobile. It's just on your phone. All right, let's do it.
I don't cover non-Americans very often, but when I do, it's something absolutely crazy.
Yeah.
Today we're
like Claire Chenault, right? That guy. He wasn't American, but he was insane. He was a pilot. Insane.
Talking about Robert La Rochefoucauld, a boy that escaped Nazi-occupied France, made his way over to Great...
What was the pronunciation on that again?
Today we're talking about Robert La Rochefoucauld, a boy that escaped Nazi-occupied France, made his way over to...
Rochefoucauld. Okay. Robert.
Great Britain, where he was trained by the British SOE, also known as the Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare. After completing his training, he was then parachuted back into Nazi-occupied France, where he was tasked with training French resistance fighters in how to be saboteurs and carrying out guerrilla warfare, as well as carrying out massive sabotage missions himself before being captured by the Nazis, tortured, sentenced to death, and somehow escaping before he would get rescued and then jump back into France and...
Tortured and then sentenced to death? I would have thought that back in these times, the death came right after the torture. At least in my opinion. But like, nah, they go through the whole procedure and everything? I wouldn't have that time.
And do it all over again. And we're going to get into it right after a word from our sponsor.
Delete me.
There you go.
Why'd you give me a shotgun? It kicks too hard.
Yeah, I know. I like watching the recoil.
What are you talking about?
Nothing. Just keep firing it a lot.
But they really did make the most hated
preferably
Green
in slow
Lantern
motion. Hey, did it
turned him
jiggle?
into a household favorite. Yeah.
Did what jiggle?
It
When you
was
fell
really,
from
really
heaven.
good.
All right, here's the deal. Super simple,
And
straightforward business model.
And dude, Lois didn't get on my nerves. I actually liked Lois's character. She wasn't annoying. She wasn't stupid. She wasn't in the way. She was actually helpful. She progressed the plot. Right? Like, nothing bad to say about Lois's character. Which is good. It was fun. Mysterious, what's up, man? Yeah, it was good, and I can't wait to watch it again with someone. Movies that I really, really like, I'll always rewatch, but with someone that hasn't seen it that wants to watch it with me, if that makes sense. I like rewatching movies with other people for the first time. So I probably will rewatch this one just at some point. Oh, good. Yo, and I like how Hot Girl straight up killed the fuck out of that president. He was like, "You got no balls, just like Superman." She's like, "Oh, word, bet, drop, dead." I was like, "Oh God!" And then fucking, they even showed Lex Luthor executing someone. I was like, "Surely, they won't show that on screen, right? Right?" Oh, but they did. I was like, "Oh shit! This Superman movie's off the chain. That's wild." Like the whole, and then fall into the ground and body going limp and everything. I was like, damn. And there was way more profanity in the movie than I expected, and it didn't present itself as like one of those stereotypical family-friendly Marvel movies. You know what I'm saying? And I was kind of digging that. I was kind of digging like the edginess on some of the scenes and stuff like that. And do we have any more try not to laughs on this stream? I mean, fuck, dude, if y'all request them. All right. Oh, shit.
Oh, let's get back to the video. All right, our story begins in Paris, France in 1923 when Robert La Rochefoucauld was born. He is one of 10 children. And unlike pretty much every other World War II war hero I've talked about on this channel, he did not grow up poor in poverty during the Great Depression.
You messed with his eyesight, right? No.
And that is because the last name La Rochefoucauld is quite literally French nobility dating back over 1,000 years. This guy grew up in a mansion right next to the Eiffel Tower and spent his summer times going off to grandma's house. And when I say grandma's house, what I really mean is grandma's castle that had 30 bedrooms. How did he get to grandma?
Fuck how he got to grandma's house. How does a guy like this end up where he ended up? As a fucking demolitions expert, like all types of high speed, gnarly, insane military background, like that's wild.
House every summer. Great question. He took the family's private luxury train.
Christina
Homie did not have a normal life, okay? He was going to fancy private schools, had everything served to him on a silver platter, literally learned 3 languages by the time he was 18. That being said, we do need to understand the culture of the broader society that he grew up in. While he individually may have been living in a life of luxury, the rest of France was still rebuilding its country after World War I. During World War I, France lost approximately 20% of its male population between the ages of 18 and 50. Literally think of 5 men you know, and then imagine if one of them died, and then extrapolate that out through the entire country you live in. This obviously has enormous ramifications for the entire country and culture, and leads to quite a bit of animosity towards Germany. Because of that, in the La Rochefoucauld household, they were not allowed to have any products that were made in Germany, and despite the fact that he had learned 3 languages, he was not allowed to learn German because, as his mother said, he was not allowed to practice such an indelicate tongue. On top of that,
yeah, man, I would say learn it just to learn it. That way, if you are ever in a position where you find yourself amongst Germans, you're not out of the loop. What if they're plotting against you and you don't know what the fuck they're saying? And hell, you got the time and the money to learn a whole ass new language if you wanted to, but you know, I get it.
His father served in World War I and was injured and had to use a cane for the rest of his life. So there was a lot of animosity towards Germany in the broader
Okay, so his father served.
French culture, as well as in his household specifically. And that animosity got cranked up to about 1,000 when he was 16 years old and Germany invaded France. When Germany invaded France, Paris was considered an open city.
There's my answer. How does a guy like this end up where he ended up? Germany.
which basically meant we don't want you to destroy the entire city. There's a lot of history there. There's a lot of people there. So we're just not going to defend it. You can roll in, occupy, seize that territory, and we're not going to put up much of a fight, which is exactly what happened. And within days of Germany occupying Paris, they started rounding up people they thought could potentially become an issue. And one of the people that...
Yeah, who would have thought that they would overstep their boundary? Should have just fought from day one. Fuck all that. Once you...
came to mind was Robert's dad, who was a World War I veteran and French nobleman that was obviously loyal to France, so they threw him in prison. Because of this, Robert, his mother, and his siblings all fled to Grandma's castle.
We make for the refuge of Helm's Deep.
While there, he began listening to the radio where Charles de Gaulle was speaking. Charles de Gaulle was a general in the French military that, after France fell, fled to the UK, and he was basically declared the leader of Free France and was going on the radio every day, encouraging the French to fight and advocating for France to fight back and reclaim their home. And being a 16-year-old teenager who had a ton of...
He was about it. Who the hell gave up so fast? Who was in charge of that decision? Why didn't more people have a say-so? Maybe you just like roll over, and of course they come in, start taking advantage of you.
Pride in his home country of France and grew up in this family of nobility with all these famous great men that came before him that didn't...
But, you know, we're talking about France, right? So there is a joke behind that.
Incredible things for the country, growing up in a society that already didn't really like Germany, not liking Germany himself, and having them roll in and imprison his father, naturally he ate that shit up. And it gets even worse when the situation in Paris stabilizes, so him and his mom and his siblings go back home and find out that Nazis have occupied their house. Upon their arrival, the Germans agree to let them live in the house, but they're still gonna live in the house too. So now he is quite literally a 16-year-old who does not like Nazis that is being forced to be a roommate with a bunch of Nazis.
When duty calls,
You know,
Lieutenant...
you can kill him. You could. And no one would know. Not a soul. I mean, eventually someone comes looking for them and you can be like, oh, they got a call on the radio and they fucked off. I don't know where the hell they are. When in reality, they're 6-7 feet under, right? Okay. At this point, I don't care. I hate this bastard.
From the ages of 16
very
to
good
19,
portrayal.
he is living at home, finishing up high school, starting to go to college, and he is being a roommate with the Nazis the entire time. And he absolutely hates it. His mother has to get him to control his temper multiple times. Now, during this 3-year time period, it's weird. There's not a lot militarily going on in France. I mean, there's Nazi soldiers all over the place, but for the most part, they're just like blending into society, and the Nazis are trying to, you know, not be the bad guys, so they're actually being halfway polite to a lot of people. The soldiers are, you know, ordered to give up their seats on trains and buses to elderly women and citizens, and a lot of people are adapting to this new lifestyle of the Germans are just occupying us.
Nah. Just because the devil's not fucking you right now doesn't mean he won't fuck you tomorrow. Or, man, nah. Or even a better analogy, just because you're laying in a pit of snakes and nothing has happened yet, that doesn't mean you're safe. That's...
But Robert never adapts. He's a rebellious teenager. He keeps listening to Charles de Gaulle on the radio, and he feels a deep dishonor. He feels like he's letting down his country and his family legacy because all of the family members that came before him all went off and they fought for France, and he's a 16, 17, 18, 19-year-old kid that can't do anything about it because nobody else is fighting. And then one day, the mailman that delivers mail to the Gestapo headquarters comes to the La Rochefoucauld household and says, hey, I delivered the mail to this police department, and they got a letter. I steamed it open so I could read it to see who they're going to arrest next, and Robert La Rochefoucauld has been reported as being a communist sympathizer, and they're going to come arrest him. Now, that's not true, but doesn't really matter. The Gestapo thinks it is, and they're going to come arrest him. So at the age of 19, he has to flee. So he gets 2 fake IDs with 2 different names and then alternates which ID he's giving every time he has to show his papers. That way it makes it harder for him to track. He makes his way all the way to Spain, where he links up with the resistance, and he tells them that he's actually a French Canadian and he's trying to make his way back to Great Britain so he can keep fighting against the Nazis. Which is brilliant because remember, he's trilingual. He speaks French, English, and Spanish, and this is going to explain his accent to anybody that wonders. So they buy his story. He gets linked up with 2 downed British pilots.
What languages again?
Brilliant, because remember, he's trilingual. He speaks French, English, and Spanish.
French, English, and Spanish. Okay. Yeah, that's what a combination there. I guess I could be the same if I learned French, because I already know Spanish, but I don't have the. I have the time. It's just don't have the desire.
And this is going to explain his accent to anybody that wonders. So they buy his story. He gets linked up with 2 downed British pilots, and they end up smuggling them back into Great Britain. And he's hoping that once he gets there, he's going to be able to link up with Charles de Gaulle and help fight for France. Once he makes his way to Great Britain, he is interrogated by British intelligence pretty rigorously, which is standard procedure, making sure he's not a spy or a double agent or something like that. And they don't torture him, but what they do is they sit him in a room, they interview him, they ask him all their questions. He lies, he says he's 21, he says he's French-Canadian, trying to get his way into Great Britain. And they end up sitting him in this room for hours on end. They feed him a bunch of tea and then refuse to let him go to the bathroom. And then they go in after hours and interview him again to see if having a full bladder.
That's fucked up, bro. I'd rather you just like punch me in the face. Really, that hurts.
And really having to take a piss is going to change his answer. Or
like, you punched me in the face, that shit'll stop hurting tomorrow. But like, that's long-term damage.
Or make him alter his story in any way, which will reveal that he's up to something. At which point, he basically just comes clean, tells the whole truth. He's 19, his name's Robert La Rochefoucauld, and
or you could have stood your ground and pissed your pants. Just fucking. I don't know.
One of the interviewers recognizes his name as French nobility. At which point, nepotism kicks in. They're like, oh, French nobility is not going to be a spy. Cool. We're going to send in a guy that'll talk to you if you really want to go fight the Germans. And they send in a guy by the name of P.K. Wicks. And he's an officer in the British SOE, the Special Operations Executive, that Winston Churchill created to, quote, set Europe ablaze. He also gave them the name the Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare.
Guilty as charged.
Basically, these guys are the inspiration for 007. PK Wicks comes to him. He's like, hey, you're French nobility. We want you. If you'll have you, here's the thing. You got to pass this super rigorous training. But if you pass, we'll jump your ass back into France and you can take the fight to the Germans. Robert is immediately interested because he really wants to fight the Germans, but he still wants to talk to General de Gaulle first to figure out if there's something more he could be doing. So PK Wicks organizes a meeting between Robert La Rochefoucauld and General de Gaulle. They have a meeting. We don't really know what's said, but when he comes out of the meeting,
I love how this kid just gets a meeting with a general like that. That definitely is nepotism.
he agrees that he's going to try to be part of the British SOE. From here, they ship him off to training. In the first 3 weeks, his basic training is basically one giant smoke session, running, push-ups, beating these guys up, making them swim when they're tired, making them cold, making them hot, trying to weed out all the weak people. Robert makes it through. After that, potential SOE operatives are sorted into 3 different categories. You've got your general spies, your communication experts, and your saboteurs, your demolition men.
What makes me a good demo man? If I were a bad demo man, I wouldn't be sitting here discussing it with you now, would I?
From here, he learns everything about sabotage. He not only learns how to make bombs, but more importantly, how to utilize those bombs to be most effective. He learns where to put them on a bridge to destabilize the entire structure. If he's going to take out a factory, he learns how to identify the most important components of the factory.
This motherfucker is about to learn how to be 2,000% efficient with bomb making and bomb placement.
Factory to take that factory out of commission for as long as possible. He learns that you shouldn't
That's such a dangerous type of person. They can only do this one job right here.
just attack power lines, you should attack the
That cannot be a hobby.
transformers that feed them, because that's what's going to take longer to replace. He learns that you shouldn't just target a railroad or a train, you should also take out all the cranes and heavy equipment that's going to be needed to clear that wreckage to repair it as well. After that, he learns how to be a paratrooper.
That's a fuck your couch type moment right there. Not only am I just going to destroy all your shit, I'm going to destroy all your supplies to fix that shit. Ugh.
And then the real spy training starts.
You know what, sir? I can't say that I am shocked because I felt very good about this year's test.
The SOE brings in a guy by the name of Eric Sykes, who's regarded as like one of the best combat shooters in the world. He's going to teach these guys how to use guns in actual combat, not just go set out on a range and shoot at a static target. He's going to put them through full-on shoot house training, and he's going to learn from the best. After that, they bring in Eric Fairbairn, who's one of, if not the best hand-to-hand combat experts at this point in time in the entire world. This guy was was former British military, and then after that went off and became a cop in Shanghai, which was one of the most violent cities in the world at this point in time. While he was there, he was jumped by a gang and stabbed 12 times.
Just a flesh wound.
Somehow he managed to survive and then decided that shit's never going to happen again and decided he was going to learn every single martial art that he could. This guy studied jujitsu.
Oh, I thought he was just gonna leave there and go be a cop somewhere else. No, he doubled down. He's like, I'm about to whoop everyone's ass.
Became a second-degree black belt in judo, studied boxing, kickboxing, savate, wrestling, knife fighting, and anything else
He was literally pulling a Batman.
While he was still being a cop in Shanghai, his official police record logs over 600 real-world fights, and he helped found the first ever SWAT team in world history. So between Sykes and Fairbairn,
I would say that should be a movie, but you know how ridiculous that movie would be? I don't think anyone would really believe it. They'd be like, true story? Yeah, bullshit.
and they basically turn him into John Wick in a fighting system that they refer to as gutter fighting.
I know Kung Fu.
I think he likes it.
David, what's good? Kevin.
From here, he has his final test, and the final test is they are going to yeet him out the back of a plane in a parachute with no map, no compass, no equipment, somewhere in the UK, and he has to make his way all the way back
Land
to SOE
navigation.
headquarters without being captured by the police. And they have notified the police that they need to track his ass down. Now, luckily, they do it in Paris, so he has a teammate that's going to be able to help him out. Unfortunately, his teammate breaks his ankle as soon as he jumps out of the plane. So Robert is like, fuck it, we ball, goes, steals a military truck, drives it back, picks up his teammate, and drives them straight back to SOE headquarters, and he's back the next day by like lunch, breaking the course record by a ridiculous amount of time. At which point the chain of command is like, that was super, super illegal, but also the exact kind of ungentlemanly shit we're looking for. You're in.
Yeah.
Out of his class of 30 men, only 7 of them graduated, and he's one of them.
God, I never even thought of that. Just steal a vehicle, right? But I wouldn't have been able to do that in land nav. That would have been grounds for disqualification. I wouldn't have gotten looked upon like, you know what, soldier, I like that you thought out of the box. Nah, man, when I was in doing land nav, that was straight Article 15. But it's ungentlemanly, so yeah, there's room for lots of fuck games.
Okay, without overthinking it, am I just your agency or a true partner?
I don't know, there's no right answer. Oh, okay, bet.
All right, summer 1943. Since Robert has left France, things have changed a lot. When he left, you had the German-occupied section of France, and then you had Free France or Vichy France, which was still kind of under Germany's control, but they were putting on the illusion that France still kind of existed as its own sovereign nation. And that was a big part of the reason when Robert was in France that people weren't as willing to fight, because there was still technically France as a sovereign nation, so to speak. But by the summer of 1943, that has changed as World War II has ramped up. The Nazis now occupy all of France. In addition to that, they are also forcing French people to work inside of factories, even sending some of them into Germany to work in their factories to aid with the war effort. Obviously, because of this, an enormous amount of the French population is pissed off, so that means that a bunch more of them are going to be willing to either A, help the resistance, or B, join the resistance themselves. The obvious problem, they don't have guns and they don't know what they're doing, and that is where Robert comes in. British SOE is linked up with the French resistance and told them they are going to be
Train all these fucking freedom fighters.
airdropping in an expert, and he is going to come with a bunch of guns and plastic explosives that he's going to distribute out to the French resistance, and then he's going to provide training and help them go out and sabotage the Germans. June 1943, he boards a plane headed off towards Nazi-occupied France. He is going to get dropped off at a certain zone, and the French resistance is going to be there waiting for him. On the way there, the plane gets lit up by German anti-aircraft fire. Luckily, they managed to limp the plane to the right drop zone. Robert jumps out. They throw out all the crates of guns and plastic explosives behind him, and then they take off. Robert never finds out what actually happened to that plane. So Robert hits the ground. French resistance
I want to say it crashed.
runs out. They meet up with him. He's like, hey, we got lit up by the Germans. The Germans know that we're doing something here. We got to get all this shit on the trucks and dip, which is exactly what they do. Now, initially, Robert has some difficulties with the French resistance because they said that they were going to be parachuting in some badass expert, and then a 19-year-old kid shows up getting thrown out of a plane, and he's talking to a bunch of
They're like, where the fuck is the expert at? Well, that's me. Hi. Son, does your mom know that you left?
of French resistance fighters that are, you know, normal dudes in their 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, and now they're taking orders from some 19-year-old kid. But his skills spoke for themselves, and they eventually ended up having a huge amount of respect for him, and he gained a ton of notoriety throughout all of France. For about the next 5 months, he trained dozens of French resistance fighters in how to be saboteurs, using guns, using plastic explosives, as well as carrying out sabotage missions himself. During this time, they took out a ton of rail lines, they took out a power plant, and they took out a repair yard for German heavy equipment. So things are going really well for about 5 months, but then obviously as the French resistance continues to get bigger and continues to get more effective, the Nazis are going to react, and they start sending in more secret police, and they actually have these secret police go in and start joining the French resistance so they can figure out who's who, and then they start arresting everybody. And by November of 1943, it gets to the point that they are capturing a ton of people, so a lot of the French resistance fighters, Robert included, all just kind of have to lay low for a while. So he goes out in the country, finds an abandoned barn, and he's just living inside of this abandoned barn, trying to go unnoticed by absolutely everyone. Robert is especially scared of getting captured because by this point in the war, the Germans somehow have figured out that the British SOE, the Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare, exists, and Hitler has signed the order that they are to be killed on sight. Now, technically that is a war crime, but the Germans argued that because they were operating in civilian clothing in German-occupied territory, they were an illegal combatant, so they were allowed to kill them. On top of that, the Germans...
Man, fuck you. It's a few versus a lot. Stop complaining, Hitler. God, you're such a fucking... Oh, you remind me of LeBron, just always bitching, probably. I can imagine that's how you were. Always flopping, always crying, always complaining about all these rules and shit that you were constantly breaking. You're like the LeBron of pieces of shit dictators. Yeah, that's... I don't know what's more embarrassing, being you or being akin to LeBron for being a crybaby ass bitch.
Aren't super renowned for caring about war crimes in the first place. So Robert is laying low inside of this abandoned barn out in the country for about a month.
That is true, and they've never cared, so why verbally complain about this one?
It's just long day after long day, waiting, and then one day on December 7th, 1943, a bunch of cop cars pull up to the barn. They go inside the barn, they arrest Robert. Robert tries to feed him a line of bullshit like, oh, I'm just, you know, some homeless guy that's traveling. I got tired. I pulled over in this barn to take a nap. The Germans then search the barn, find a bunch of plastic explosives and submachine guns, and he's like, those aren't mine. Obviously, they don't believe him.
I don't even know what this is. This sort of thing ain't my bag, baby.
One book, Swedish-made penis enlarger pumps and me. This sort of thing is my bag, baby.
Ah.
The moment I loved our Subaru Outback most
Oh, thank goodness.
was the moment they walked away from it.
Why did that...
At this point, Robert is like, okay, well, I'm dead. I'm about to get shot in this barn right now because I'm British SOE. But
they don't know
that's
that
not what they do. They handcuff him, they throw him in a car, and they start taking him off to prison. And the entire car ride there, he's like, why didn't they just kill me? What is going to happen next? Oh, they're probably going to torture me and then kill me. Great. And he's like trying to figure out why they didn't kill him right there on the spot like they had orders to do. And it dawns on him, they probably didn't do it because he speaks fluent French, doesn't have an accent.
Yeah, they don't know who he is.
And the dude kind of looks French. His family's been there for 1,000 years. So they didn't just instinctively think that he was British SOE.
Yeah.
Realizing this, when he gets to the prison for the first and only time during his operational career, he actually gives the Germans his real name because La Rochefoucauld, super French name that's well known. And then that's going to add to, oh, he's just French resistance. He's not British SOE. So at least he won't get executed immediately. From here, he gets thrown in solitary confinement for a couple of days. Obviously, they're trying to soften him up before they interrogate him, but he's already been in solitary confinement for like the past month inside of a barn, so it doesn't really affect him.
Boy, they went all out on this one, huh?
From here, they take him in, they interrogate him. It becomes pretty obvious to Robert that they think he's a communist, so he kind of like goes along with it, not by saying that he is a communist, but by refusing to admit that he's a communist, trying to get the Germans to prove it, and then that way it kind of like gives them tunnel vision that they're trying to prove that this guy's a communist. Basically, he's doing anything and everything he can to not get identified as British SOE. Yeah. After the initial interrogations, they throw him into a normal cell, and he has a cellmate with him, and within being in the room with the cellmate for like 20 minutes, the guy has an epileptic seizure, falls onto the ground. 2 guards rush in, they start freaking out, they don't know what to do. Robert's just kind of sitting on the bed watching this whole thing go down. The 2 guards are helping the guy having the seizure. The door is wide open, and he's just like, huh, They end up taking the guy to the infirmary. Robert never sees him again. From here, they start interrogating Robert every day for multiple hours a day. And when I say interrogating,
I thought he was just gonna sprint the fuck out the door.
I mean torturing. Now, we don't know exactly what Robert himself was subjected to, but we do know the methods that were being used in this prison at this time period. Those included waterboarding, getting beaten with bats, having your testicles shocked, having the soles of your feet cut open and being forced to walk on salt, the pulling out of teeth, the pulling out of fingernails, and there's even a couple accounts of prisoners being forced or strapped down over a toilet that was full of starving rats. And this goes on every day for months. Robert never says shit, or at least never says anything true or that's actually helpful to the Nazis. He keeps leaning back on his training. He keeps getting angry at the torturer. He's yelling at the guy. He's just making it not fun. You know what I mean? I've never tortured anybody, don't really want to, but I would imagine if you've tortured 100 people and they're all, you know, begging you to stop and crying and being sad, and you've got one guy that's yelling at you being a dick, it probably makes it a little bit less fun.
Where did you get those relics from? The Ferran's garage sale?
You know, I don't even think you want to be tortured.
I don't want to be tortured.
You're just like taking all the fun out of it.
During this entire time period, the only good thing that happens is, for some reason, I have no idea why, the Germans are still allowing the prisoners to receive mail. And there's somebody from inside the local community that is sending in care packages to just random people. And Robert keeps getting these care packages with like chocolate and food and bread and shit. And that's what keeps him going. Other than that, it's just day after day.
I would have wrote on a piece of paper and been like, yo, send explosives.
Of getting tortured for hours upon hours, and this goes on for months. December, January, February. By March, he's really starting to lose hope. He still has his cyanide pill hidden on him, and he's really starting to think about using it. And then on March 7th, he ends up getting pulled from his cell and sent into a tribunal, basically a kangaroo court, where he is going to go on trial for his crimes. So Robert finds out he's going on trial. He's like getting ready to argue, getting his story straight that he was just some random dude passing by. He had no idea that there were weapons inside the barn. He goes inside this military tribunal, doesn't really even get to say anything. They're just like, yep, he's guilty. Sentence him to death on the spot. They take him out, they load him in the back of a truck, and the truck takes off. So Robert is now in the back of a truck, moving down the road with a couple of other prisoners, a couple of other guards. He has no idea where they're going, but he knows what happens when they get there. They're gonna kill him. Now remember, the Germans never figured out that he was SOE. They have no idea that he's been trained to, I don't know, kill people with his bare hands or any number of other things. So they decided that he was just some other French guy that they tortured for 4 months and is probably broken, so they didn't bother.
There was really nothing he could do while being incarcerated, because yeah, could he kill 2 or 3, maybe even 4 guards? Yeah, but to get out of that place successfully, it's not just 3 or 4 he's gonna have to deal with when those alarms go off. It's like the whole fucking prison system in there. I'm sure there's like upwards of hundreds of guards probably. So couldn't really do anything there. But here, out in the open, exposed with,
to throw him in the truck with handcuffs, just like any other type of prisoner. So Robert hits one of the guards and jumps out of the back of this moving truck, tucks and rolls, and takes off running as fast as he can. The other guard stands up, starts shooting at Robert, but only for a second, because after the first couple of bullets, which missed, the driver ends up slamming on the brakes because he hears gunfire, not knowing what's going on, ends up knocking the guard down, and it gives Robert enough time to make it to the corner and turn it so he's not in their direct line of sight. From here, he just keeps running as fast as he can, taking every single corner, every back alley, trying to lose the Germans. After a couple miles, he hasn't heard the truck behind.
Doing the fucking, the classic Tom Cruise run from every single movie that he's in. He's just gone, man.
Him in a while, and he's finally starting to think to himself, okay, cool, I managed to lose that truck. He turns one more corner and runs smack dab into a Nazi headquarters building.
Nazis. I hate these guys.
At this point, he's like, fuck, what do I do? Because if I turn around and run the other way, that's gonna look suspicious. There's guards in front.
Bathroom, anybody? Bathroom? I got shit really like it's about to come out. Maybe.
Front of this place. Okay, I'm just gonna play it cool. Stops running, starts walking, acting and pretending like he's supposed to be there. The problem is he's still wearing his clothes from 4 months ago when he was captured. He's got a beard, he looks like shit, he smells terrible, whatever, we just gotta roll with it. And he keeps walking towards this Nazi headquarters building and goes to walk right past it, and right at the main gate, there's this big fancy Nazi limo with little Nazi swastika flags on the side, and he kind of looks inside of it. There's keys inside the limo, looks across the street. The driver is clearly waiting for somebody, smoking a cigarette right across from the limo, and he's like, fuck it, jumps in the limo, turns the key, peels out.
What goes
The fact that it's a limousine just makes it that much better.
around comes around.
It could have been anything.
The driver
It's
across
a
the street
fucking
pulls
limo.
out a pistol, starts shooting at the car, doesn't do any real damage. He turns a corner. He's doing the same thing now, but inside of a car, just speeding off.
That's better than the last video. Well, not really. He found a motorcycle, which that is pretty fucking cool. But to walk up on a limousine, and you know that shit probably had to belong to someone important. Some high-ranking fucker. Maybe Hitler himself. Who knows? Imagine that one actually belonged to Hitler. I'm sure all the high-ranking people had their own limousines, right? I don't know. Past a certain rank, I guess. But dude, I wonder what happened to that driver. You lost a whole ass limousine, man. That's insane.
Taking corner after corner, not knowing where to go, not knowing what to do. And then he sees a sign, Paris, that way. And he's like, okay, well, at least I know people in Paris.
Yeah, I'm starting. Yeah, that's what I have. Braxton, what up, man? I'm starting to think that driver got the gulag hard. That driver got sentenced to death, man. Then again, it just depends. If that car was actually Hitler's, oh yeah, you're dead. But if it wasn't, then I don't know, man. The next best punishment that the Nazis could have done to one of their own, other than death. I can't even, aside from jail, I don't even know. Would they even have the time to torture themselves, torture each other? I don't know.
Paris, so that's where he goes. Makes it to the outskirts of town, runs face first into a Nazi checkpoint. Again, can't just, turn around and try a different route because that's going to look suspicious, especially if
you got to go through this checkpoint, but oh wait, you don't know German, so you have to hope and pray that they just see this limousine and they just open that shit up immediately.
they've already radioed to look out for this car that he just stole.
Never
so
mind.
he just kind of joins the queue. He gets in line with all the other cars waiting to get their papers checked and get waved through, and he just waits and he waits, and then he's up next. The Germans start walking up. There's no cars in front of him. He just floors it and drives through the barricade. The Germans start shooting up the car. They hit the car a ton, but luckily they don't hit him.
Yeah.
From here, he drives the car as far and as fast as he can until there's black smoke just coming out of the hood of this car, and he's like, okay, gotta ditch this thing. Finds an abandoned quarry, drives it into the abandoned quarry off of a cliff. It explodes, and now he's just out in the middle of nowhere with absolutely nothing. And from here, he does the exact opposite of what you would...
But it's better than what would have happened earlier, which is what, ladies and gentlemen? Fucking death. So, I'll take this over death.
expect
This
him to do. He
situation.
goes out into the woods, sleeps overnight, and then in the morning, walks back into the same town that he just escaped. And his logic...
He kind of has to. He doesn't have a choice, really. Go where else? I don't think there is anything or anywhere else. It's just this fucking place.
was the Germans last saw him heading as fast as he could out of town. They're probably not going to be looking for him too hard inside of towns.
He could be sneaky. What he needs is a shaving kit. He needs new clothes, shaving kit, try to blend in, gather supplies, gather some personnel, establish something from within that area, and then just cause havoc and disrupt until something amazing happens, I suppose.
So that's exactly where he goes. And he decides he's going to go to the only place he knows where somebody kind of sort of might actually like him, and he goes to the return address that was on all those care packages that he got when he was in prison. It ends up being a Nazi-occupied hotel, and the guy that was sending all the packages is the guy that runs the hotel. So he goes there, that guy takes him in, gets him cleaned up, feeds him, lets him stay there for a couple of days while he gets him fake papers, and then he smuggles him out of town in the...
But who are you? That's what I want to know. You were sending him care packages for months. Or then again, he was just sending care packages to everyone, really. Still like to know this man's name for the good deed.
Back of his truck in a giant pile of hay. And as they go through the Nazi checkpoint, the guy's like, oh, I'm just, I run the hotel in town. All the Nazis know who this guy is. He runs the Nazi hotel. He's like, I'm going to feed all this hay to my sheep. The Germans go in, they stab the hay pile with bayonets, somehow missing La Rochefoucauld every single time. And
what's crazy is that was part of the plan, probably. The driver told Robert, hey, so we're going to go through this checkpoint, and they're probably going to check to see if there's anyone back here. Do you know what that implies, Mr. Robert? And he was like, I know exactly. I know the implications. And they went. What if you do get... It's over there, right? That is literally a 50-50 gamble that they just took. and it worked out.
Then they make it out of town. They go to the next town over, go to the train station.
Yeah, the hotel manager. That's gonna be his only name.
And uses his fake papers to get on a train headed towards Paris. Once he gets on the train, he's sitting in the back and he can see Nazis coming through inspecting everybody's papers. And he's like, oh shit. And he's like, okay, well, I've got fake papers, but I don't know how good these fake papers actually are. They were good enough to get past the guy running the train station, but he's not a soldier clearly looking for somebody. And if these guys find out my papers are fake, it's game over. So he gets...
Well, it depends on the rank of the person checking. If it's a high-ranking fucker, you're probably caught. If it's a low-ranking fucker, we don't check for shit. We just look at the paperwork and tell you to get the fuck out of our face.
Gets up, goes to the bathroom, crams himself into the little cabinet underneath the sink, and stays there for the entire train ride back to Paris.
Okay.
Once he gets back to Paris, he goes to his aunt and his uncle's house. They're happy to see him. They feed him, they clothe him, they get him everything he needs for a couple of days. He links back up with the French resistance. They get a message over to British SOE, and a couple of days after that, he gets extracted via either submarine or gunboat, depending on which source you want to read. Makes it back to Great Britain, gets interrogated all over again, making sure that he didn't get turned into a double agent.
Debrief, yeah.
And from there, he gets to spend some time recovering from getting tortured and starved for 4 months straight.
Find what you love.
Pretty sure that was some good R&R right there. Oh, that's a in and out.
All right, spring 1944, he's recovered. Things are starting to ramp up for D-Day, and he volunteers to jump back into France to help set the stage for D-Day. Same thing happens all over again. This time he jumps into Britannia right along the Atlantic coast, and he just goes in, meets up with all the resistance, starts training as many guys as he can, distributes all the supplies that he has.
Literally rinse and repeat from his first go-round, yeah.
And goes out on missions, sabotaging rail lines, electrical plants, everything and anything that he can find to slow the Germans.
And I'm sure Hitler's like, yo, I thought we fucking killed that guy.
Down for when D-Day comes. And again, the same exact thing happens. He's there for like 2-3 months, and then the Germans start realizing that the French resistance has suddenly gotten way more effective.
Yeah.
So they start sending in a bunch of more people to break up the French resistance. And he's like, I'm not getting fucking captured again. I've made it this far without getting captured. I did a bunch of damage. He calls in, gets extracted, makes his way back to Great Britain.
That's all, folks.
All right, April 29th, 1944, the British launch a massive bombing campaign on a French munitions factory that is building ammo for the Nazis, and they bomb the holy hell out of it, but it's only down for about a week before they start producing ammunition again. At this point, the British are like, okay, a couple of options. We could bomb it again. I mean, bombs are effective, but they're not like pinpoint accurate. We're not going to be able to go in there, find out where the most important parts of this factory are, and target those specifically.
Or you can send someone in, that's someone being Robert, and he can just paint the target for you or just give you exact coordinates.
Just kind of like trying to blow the whole thing to hell. But the downside is it's really risky. You're putting all the planes, all the soldiers' lives at risk. It's a big deal. So we could also just have a saboteur go in there, pinpoint a couple of things, and take this factory out of commission. And that's what they decide to do. They call up La Rochefoucauld. He jumps back into France, and now he is tasked with taking out this munitions plant. Only problem.
It's crazy that he's jumping back into his own country. He's jumping into his own country to sabotage something that has been taken over by the enemy. Like, I know he's probably thinking, what the fuck is my life right now? I'm combat jumping into my home territory to... Guys, give me a second. I have to take this phone call, okay? I'll be right back. Hold on. Sorry, guys. Yo, what's up, dude?
It's not the French resistance waiting for him at the drop zone. Somehow, it's the Germans. They ambush him and capture him almost immediately.
Oh, man.
They throw him in the truck, take him to some house. They start interrogating him. After a little while, he hears a bunch.
I bet you he landed. He's like, this isn't where I parked my car. Fuck. Dude, captured twice.
Trucks pull up outside, and he's like, oh, great. The Nazis are here to take me to the real prison where I'm going to get tortured all over again. And then the whole house just starts getting lit up with machine gun fire. He hits the deck. Dudes come in with guns, kill all the Germans. It was the French resistance that was supposed to meet him there originally. They went out there, got the guns, came back for him, and then killed all the Nazis. At which point he's like, great, perfect, wonderful. Okay, now back to this munitions plant.
Good.
He links up with the resistance.
Shit.
They start talking it. They case the place. This munitions plant is absolutely massive. Every single worker that goes in there has their papers checked going in and coming out every single day. This is not going to be easy. He has to figure out how to get fake papers for this plant. He has to figure out how he's going to smuggle in all the explosives, and he's going to have to figure out how he's going to get out once the explosives go off. So they go out, they end up finding a bunch of the maintenance crew.
Well, here's a question. I mean, yeah, this place is massive, but are you telling me that the bombs that already exist that planes can drop wouldn't be enough to take out this factory? I thought they just needed to know the location. They know the location. It's this big ass factory that seemingly has hundreds, if not thousands of employees going into it, right? I don't know. But they are going to destroy it just from the inside.
For this factory and convince them to help him. They use those guys as actual IDs to make fake IDs for Robert and like 4 other resistance fighters. Then, using Robert's knowledge of how to sabotage stuff and the maintenance guy's knowledge of how the factory actually works and what's important, they come together and figure out which targets they're going to hit, mainly water mains and electrical rooms.
They want to make sure, without a fucking doubt, that that's why it's like this.
Then they got to figure out how they're going to get the explosives inside the factory. So they hollow out their shoes and they're going to smuggle explosives in their shoes. So they load their shoes up with explosives. Next day they show up to work. They all kind of stagger throughout this line. And like I said, this factory is huge. There's over 5,000 employees, right? And there's only like one checkpoint. So the dude that's checking papers is not like heavily scrutinizing. He's like, good, go, good, go, good, go.
Yeah.
It's not real in-depth. Robert didn't realize that. He gets to walk right through. They get inside. They actually go to work. They work a full shift. At some point during the day, they go to the bathroom, hollow out their shoes, get all the explosives out of it, and then go stash it somewhere inside the place. And then tomorrow, they're going to come back and do it all over again. After that, they finish working their shift, quitting time, the horn blows, they all go home, they go back to the hideout, they have a big party because the plan is working. But Robert is like, okay, these guys aren't checking us that heavily, and I want to hurry this shit up and blow
So let's just start bringing more shit
up this munition plant, because every day we're making more ammo. You know, we need to stop that. That's the whole point of the mission. Yeah. So he needs to figure out how to get more explosives in every single day, because at this rate, it's going to take forever. So he figures the only thing you're really allowed to bring into this factory is your lunch. So we need to figure out how to get more plastic explosives inside of our lunch boxes. It's literally the opposite of the Johnny Cash song where he steals a Cadillac one piece at a time and it didn't cost him a dime, except now Robert is smuggling in plastic explosives to blow up the entire factory. So what he does is he goes down to the grocery store, buys a baguette, a loaf of bread, cuts the end off, gets a spoon, hollows out the entire loaf of bread.
That's why this part is called spicy baguette. Oh my lord. That's genius.
And just ass packs this baguette full of C4. Go back to work the next day, guy checks the papers, looks in the lunchbox. Oh shit, he's got a baguette. This is France, that's normal. Go ahead and go right in.
Yeah.
And then there's 5 other guys also bringing a fucking loaf of C4. After 7 days.
You know what the guy checking paperwork, you know what he should have noticed? You know what he probably did notice? He was like, man, there's been a real influx of bread lately. This is crazy. Imagine if he reports that and like a super smart, perceptive, high-ranking fucker decides to follow up on that. Like, why are these fuckers bringing in so much damn bread, huh? Are they having a sale? What's going on? And then they find out, you know?
They managed to smuggle in 40 pounds of C4.
Oh, sourdough.
We love hot bread. We love a good hot bread.
New crafted flats from Pizza Hut are just $5 each.
No, hell no, we're not doing that. Although that's what I might eat later.
After that, we're ready to blow up this plant. So here's the plan. Everybody's going to go to work as normal. We're going to bring even more C4. And then at the end of the day, factory closes at 7 o'clock. At 6:30, Robert's going to slip away. He's going to go out to the fuel warehouse and he's going to rig up the fuel warehouse to explode with a massive chunk of C4. And it's going to be on a 1-hour time delay. Then Robert's going to hide till 7 o'clock when everybody else, including the other 4 resistance guys, are all going to leave. And Robert's going to run around the factory. He's got 30 minutes to place all the rest of his charges. He's going to blow up the water main, the main power lines, and all the railroads coming in and out of the factory. The 4 resistance guys that already left are going to grab their bikes and Robert's bike, and they're going to pedal around the backside of the factory and wait by the 18-foot high wall on the outside with a rope. Then after Robert places his charges, he's going to jump out of a window, run across the courtyard at the wall.
Dude, this really is some high-speed ass shit.
Yell over to him. They're going to throw the rope over. He's going to scale the wall, and they're going to pedal off on bikes, which is exactly what happens. They make it about 4 blocks away from the factory before there's a massive chain of explosions, and then they make it back to the safe house, have a humongous party, and get completely shit-faced. From here, Robert radios over to British SOE, says mission successful. They radio back a single word: congratulations. That munitions factory was then out of commission for 15 days straight, and it's unclear how effective they were after they did start manufacturing more stuff at the location. But it was only out of commission for 2 weeks. I don't know why you're making such a big deal about it like that.
He said 15 days. Isn't that 2 weeks?
It's a huge deal. Okay, first of all, when you're playing Who's Got More Bullets with America and your factory goes down for 2 weeks straight, it's a fucking problem, okay? Second of all, a British Lancaster bombing formation only managed to put this factory out of commission for 7 days, and Robert La Rochefoucauld went in there with a loaf of bread and did...
But I think it's also equally as impressive that they got this factory back up and running in 2 weeks, given that it took catastrophic damage. Do you guys have any idea, like, how awesome you gotta be? And just, like, how only down for 15 days and it took that much damage to the most important parts of it, and it was only down for 2 weeks? Jesus. I really do feel like if a factory today, just pick one, man, any factory today gets catastrophic damage to all components of the factory, that's just down for longer than 15 days. I don't know. Or maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm just looking at it all skewed. Or maybe I just don't know. But still. Hold on. These don't pop up for me. Yo, Heckin. Heckin Fresh, I appreciate this up, man. Do you know about the battle at Bamber Bridge, England, World War II? No, we haven't. We haven't covered that.
Twice as much damage, okay? That's gangster as fuck. Sorry, anyways, from here, Robert's just pretty much waiting to get extracted. He needs to get the orders of when and where to meet for his extraction, so he's hanging out at the safe house for a couple of days. The orders finally come down. Hey, tomorrow night, we need you to meet us in this next town over at this location. So he spends the next day memorizing the exact route he's gonna take, and he's gonna ride his bike there at night in pitch darkness. So he wants to memorize the route so he knows every little curve of the road so he can ride there in the dark. And that's exactly what he does. Starts riding his bike. It's pitch black out. Can't really see shit. He hears a car coming up behind him, jumps in the ditch, waits for the car to pass by, comes back out, makes it a couple more miles, another car coming, jumps in the ditch, hides, waits for the car to pass by, comes...
He is taking no fucking chances. He's like, I am not getting captured.
Back out, riding his bike in the dark, can't see anything, and then all of a sudden, he just runs into something. And it's a German checkpoint. He literally rode right into it because, well, that wasn't on the map. And now the Germans have him at gunpoint and there's a curfew and he's not supposed to be out at this hour, so they start asking him questions. They're
I had to shit. Sorry.
Like, hey, what the fuck are you doing? And he's like,
guys, if you haven't noticed already, that's kind of like my excuse for a lot of things. I had to shit. Because no one can prove that you're lying. How can they prove that you have to shit or not, or that you don't have to? It's like one of my go-to excuses. They're like, explosive diarrhea. Can't nobody prove you're lying? It's not like they can be like, all right, show me. Well, I don't have to do it right now, but like, you know, it's explosive. It's whatever. I'm just saying.
And here is where being in the military from the age of 19 really shoots him in the foot. Okay, you gotta realize, Robert is like 21 years old right now, but he's had a really weird life between the ages of 16 and 21. Everything after the age of 16 has been like building up to do 007 type shit. So in a lot of ways, socially speaking, he's still a 16-year-old. So when he's asked, what are you doing out past curfew? The 16-year-old social skills kick in and he's like, I was out in the woods making love to my girlfriend. Okay, now for a 16-year-old boy making out with his girlfriend in the woods, great excuse, highly probable, definitely what's going on here. For a 21-year-old man that just got done working at a factory, not a great excuse.
No.
German guard says, and I quote, "Why don't you fuck your girlfriend at home?" To which Robert is like, From here, they take him to Fort Duas prison, throw him in a cell. He's informed that he's gonna start getting interrogated in 2 days when the head of secret police gets back in, and that guy's name is Friedrich Wilhelm Doza. Robert knows the name because Doza is like one of the best secret police the German has, and he has been responsible for arresting hundreds of French resistance guys. He's always infiltrating the French resistance and breaking them up and arresting everybody. So at this point, Robert's kind of freaking out, like, okay, I might have met my match with this guy. I can't let him know what my real name is. If I give him my real name, he's gonna track down my family, he's gonna hurt them next. And for the next 2 days, he considers taking his own cyanide pill just so he doesn't accidentally give up his name to protect his family. And really, over the course of this time period, he just comes to accept that, like, he's gonna die soon, but he can still determine how he dies. So he figures, you know what? I might as well try to escape. If I end up getting killed or if I end up getting recaptured, I'll take the cyanide pill, or they'll kill me when I'm trying to escape. I'm dead either way. I might as well give it a shot.
My
and
thoughts
then
exactly.
He has an idea. He remembers back to the last time he was held in a prison, and that one guy had an epileptic seizure, and the guards ran in and started helping.
Fake a seizure, and they'll take you to the infirmary. Act dead. Well, not act dead, but act like you're passed out. Open your eye a little bit. No nurses, nobody, nothing. Gone, man, gone. Maybe even stab someone in the neck on the way out. I don't know, man, but do it.
Him. Now, he's in a cell by himself, so he hangs around, he waits till the guard is walking by, and then he has an epileptic seizure.
There you go. The only time I would ever advocate for faking one of those, okay? Because I am epileptic. Don't be a dick. Don't fake that shit because it makes you look like a douchebag when people find out that you faked it. But in this situation, man, by all fucking means, my thoughts exactly.
Guard unlocks the door, runs in to help, and then Robert grabs him, throws him on the ground, snaps his neck, and kills him. And here Robert's just kind of like, I just
killed the fuck out of that guy, and it was easy as shit. Oh. No, Alani, what's good? What have you missed? Just this fat electrician video. It's the only one we've done so far. All right.
I just killed a guy.
You should find yourself a safe house or a relative close by. Lay low for a while because you're probably wanted for murder.
And then he kind of like snaps out of it like, okay, gotta move fast, looks for the keys to get off of like the block that...
Man, he went instantly. He went hard instantly. I thought that he was going to wait till he got to the infirmary, but then again, he already saw the way out on his way in, so there's no need to go to the infirmary. He can just get out through here.
He's on. He has keys to his cell, but he doesn't have keys to get out of the section of the prison that he's in, and neither does the guard. So he's like, shit.
You should have waited on the infirmary then.
What do I do now? So he decides that guard's roughly the same size as me, so he strips the guard down and puts on the Nazi uniform. So now, not only is he dressed like a Nazi, but he also has a pistol. So things are looking better. He's like,
still not good though, because the most glaring thing is going to give you away, bro. And you know what that is? You don't know German. You don't know. So that's
okay, how do I get keys to get off this cell block? And
it's easy. Well, no, never mind. I was gonna say just tell him you have to shit, but you don't speak German. Oh, fuck.
There's, you know, just a bunch of cells, and then there's like the room that the guards are always going into. So he's like, maybe the keys are in there. So he walks in his Nazi uniform over to the guards' lounge or whatever you want to call it, opens the door. There's 2 guards in there sleeping. So he kind of starts shuffling around, looking for keys to get off this cell block. The guards wake up, shoots both the guards, finds the keys, gets off the cell block, walks out the front door of the prison, and goes back to the safe house, does not get caught. From here, he doesn't leave the safe house for like 3 days straight.
Yo, oh my God. That escalated so fast, and it went so smooth, and it was that fucking easy. Wow. Man. Prisons in the 40s, huh? Know what I'm talking about? Jails in the 40s. Just insane. Yeah, try escaping jail today. It's crazy too, isn't it? When was the last time y'all heard? It doesn't happen often. I can't remember the last time I heard of like someone breaking out of prison and just being on the run in modern times with the way prisons are now. I mean, I'm pretty sure there's a lot of instances, but they don't get far and they don't make news, right? An actual full-on fucking, like, you just escape. You were doing 10, right? 20, maybe even life, and you escape, and now you're on the lam. No CCTV back then, too. Yeah, dude, today, you rarely hear about it today, which is good, but I'm just saying, isn't it crazy? Like, back then, murder was easy, escaping jail was easy, being a bad cop was easy. Basically, doing the wrong thing prior to CCTV, internet, cell phones, all this shit was insanely easy. And with forensics and DNA, and you ain't getting away with fucking nothing today at all. Anyways, I digress.
Nazis know what he looks like. They have like a hand drawing of his face. They've got wanted posters all over town. They are looking for this guy. There's no way he's going to be able to get out of this safe house and get to like the next safe house to the next safe house to get to where he can get extracted, because the Nazis are looking at every single checkpoint. They are gonna catch him. After about 3 or 4 days of hanging out at the safe house waiting for everything to cool down, it's not cooling down. Nobody can come up with a plan on how to smuggle his ass out of here. And then the owner of the safe house is like, I mean, I do have one idea. My sister's a nun and she's a little bit husky. So, I mean, that is an option.
Daniel, hi. Could you make me a woman?
Okay, hard cut. Robert, with a freshly shaven face, is now walking down the streets of France in a nun outfit, literally waving at Nazis as he walks by, and nobody suspects a thing. Robert makes it all the way to the next safe house, goes up, knocks on the door. A woman answers the door. He knows he's looking for a guy. I don't know his name. Mike, Rob, whatever. So, in a female voice, still trying to, put up the impression that he's a nun, not knowing if this woman's to be trusted or not, he asks if, oh, is Mike here? And she's like, yeah, I'll go get him. Mike comes to the door, and Mike is like, sees this nun in front of him, and he's like immediately like upset and distraught, and he's like, oh no, sister, are you gonna tell me that he passed away or he was captured? Thinking, because he's been waiting for Robert La Rochefoucauld for like 4 days. He was supposed to be here 4 days ago, so he's thinking in his head,
he's like, it's me, dumbass.
This nun is coming to inform him that his friend that he's been waiting for has passed away or whatever. At which point, Robert, using his man voice, is like, bro, I'm right here.
Can I help you, man?
Oh, sorry I'm late. But after all those scotches, I had to piss like a racehorse.
Yeah. Oh, it's so good.
He goes inside the safe house, tells him the story. The woman that answered the door is actually this guy's wife, tells her the story. They all have a good laugh. From here on out, he's hanging out at this safe house.
Good.
So he's hanging out at the safe house for a couple of days, and then a couple more days, and then a couple more days, and the orders for him to get extracted are just not coming through. There's no plans, there's no communication, just nothing. And eventually the owner of the safe house is like, okay, we got to get you somewhere that isn't here, because if the Germans come, you're going to get all of us killed. So he ends up organizing for him to go out into the boonies, into this lumberjack camp out in the woods. And he,
well, would the nun outfit not work anymore? Is that not going to work anymore? Why did we stop doing that one?
he's just going to work there as a lumberjack until the orders come through. So that's what he does. He goes out to this lumberjack camp and he's being a lumberjack, cutting down trees for weeks, and then weeks turn into a month, and then a month turns into another month, and he's finally like, what the fuck is going on? There's a war going on. I'm supposed to be, you know, doing stuff. I'm out here cutting trees. And he's like, fuck it. I'm just going to go back, rejoin the resistance, and go rogue. That's what he does. One day he just walks out of the lumberjack camp, goes back into town, links back up with the French resistance group that helped him sabotage the ammunition factory, and just goes absolutely ham. Now, we don't have great documentation on what exactly he was doing, but it's pretty safe to assume he was going out training more resistance guys and then leading missions to sabotage stuff that he thought would piss off the Nazis. And like I said, what we don't—
Oh, that looks important. That looks shiny. Is that brand new? Fucking it up.
don't know exactly what he specifically was up to. We do know that in his general area around this general time period, there was over 100 Nazi rail lines that got sabotaged. We do have one specific story that he took the time to write about, though, during this time period. He was working with the French resistance, and they were setting up an ambush for some German soldiers. And during this ambush, there was some type of building that they were in, either like an abandoned factory or a factory, whatever it was. He says he walks into a room, he opens the door, and as he opens the door into this room, it's just a room with a desk in the middle, and straight across from his door was another door. And at the same moment that he walked through his door, a Nazi soldier walked through the other door straight across from him.
1v1 duel, quick draw style. Just go ahead and shoot that man. Don't even ask, don't even blink, don't even breathe about it.
He immediately draws his pistol, starts firing at the German. The German draws his pistol, starts firing at him.
Holy
They both
shit.
mag dump each other, and both of them miss with every fucking shot. At this point,
What?
Robert and the Nazi are just looking at each other with empty pistols like,
I guess we're fighting. I guess we're I don't know what to do with my hands.
I'm not sure what to do with my hand.
Be good just to hold him down by your side. Yeah, great.
like, what is the protocol here? Do I hurry up and try to reload faster than him?
You throw your pistol at him. Hopefully it hits him in the forehead. That's like +2 stun if you hit him in the forehead with your pistol. And then you just bum rush him. And then beat him to death. That's the only thing you can do, because that is his exact plan. So whoever moves faster, that's who wins.
And then shoot him, and hopefully I hit him this time, even though I didn't with the last 7 bullets? Or do we just have a fist fight to the death? What's the plan? So Robert and this Nazi are both just kind of looking at each other, probably for like a split.
Or what y'all could do is just y'all both turn around and walk back out the door you came in. And just don't even worry about it. Because that was embarrassing. And, yeah, let's just call that a draw, okay? I'm sure he's not going to tell his buddies, and I'm sure you're not going to tell your friends that you missed every round at point blank. Well, that y'all both did. That's incredible, isn't it? Wow, that's...
Second, but I bet it felt like forever, and they're both just like...
Oh my...
And they both, at the same time, turn around... and go out the door they came in and shut the door behind him, never go back. Robert never saw the guy again. So he goes rogue for a couple of months, has a bunch of missions, presumably, does a bunch of stuff, trains a bunch of people, whatever. And then the entire landscape of the...
Yo, what a humble ass guy, bro, because that story, I'm taking to the fucking grave. Ain't no way I'm about to let anybody know that I just shit the bed from 5 feet away. It's no sir, not me. I got too much pride. I got too much pride. My ego's too... No, I can't take that. I can't do that. I'm either not telling that story or I'm fucking lying. Like...
French resistance changes. Now, when you talk about the French resistance, a lot of people just assume that it's all the same thing. Like there's just one organization, one big entity that
so
is
good.
the French resistance or the resistance, right? That's really not how it worked at all. There's a bunch of different factions of French resistance, and they were all doing different things, and some of them did not like each other and would work against each other. It was kind of a crapshoot. So you had factions of resistance that were loyal to what France used to be. They're essentially loyal to General de Gaulle. They're loyal to Free France.
And then you got like new age resistance fuckers that are just like, nah, fuck that old way. This is the new, right? And like they clash.
Want things to go back to how they were before the Germans showed up. You also have factions that are communist that want France to get taken over by communists and become a communist nation. And then you have other factions that are like comprised of almost exclusively Jewish people or whatever. So you have all these different factions with different motives, and they're not always working together. Well, by this point in time, D-Day has happened. Allied forces are here. They're liberating France. And because of this, General de Gaulle comes back and he basically puts an end to all the resistance that is loyal to him. They're like, okay, we don't need the French resistance anymore. If you want to fight for France, you can quit being part of the resistance and you can just come join the Free French Army, and you can be directly underneath me. And because obviously La Rochefoucauld is loyal to General de Gaulle, that's exactly what he does. So La Rochefoucauld joins the French army, and the French army is like, okay, we've got this guy that's basically fucking James Bond. He's been doing 007 shit for years. We should probably just give him some orders and cut him loose, or put him in charge of some people and get him into the action.
Promote him.
Right? Obvious thing to do. So naturally, that's what they don't do, because the military is going to military, and they decide that they're going to send him to officer school in the middle of World War II. So they pull him out.
Send him to officer. When I said promote him, just give him the fucking rank. Or matter of fact, he doesn't even need one. He can be like his own little... whatever. Yeah, if it makes sense, the army wants no part.
Out of the field, send him to officer.
And that's not specific. Isn't it funny how that's not specific to just American military? A whole bunch of other militaries around the world are guilty of that. If it makes sense, we ain't doing it. If it's the logical thing to do, we're not doing that either. But who knows? Maybe this decision spawned something else that's just like wild. I mean, then again, it doesn't matter. This guy's gonna, he's gonna be great no matter what he does or where he gets sent. So
training. So Robert hates it. Giant waste of his time. Yeah. He's 21 years old. He's showing up to these officer training classes, getting taught by people that know less about what's going on than he does. They're less capable than he is, but he's, you know, learning from them. So he's basically just shows up, jumps through all the hoops, graduates at the top of his class, and then he goes and joins the French army. And he gets assigned to a commando unit because, well, at least that makes sense.
Yeah, that's better.
Those who answer.
Not. I can only imagine. Dude, and yeah, I know the feeling. I really know the feeling. I didn't go to officer school, but guess what, man? I had to deal with officers right out of their OCS, man. I think both duty stations that I had, just the one. Lieutenant Welch was actually, he was a high-speed little officer we had. He was not bad. But the other one, which I won't say his name because I don't have anything nice to say about him. This motherfucker was right out of OCS, Officer Candidate School. Right out of college, you could see it written all over his face, his uniform, his demeanor, everything. And on top of that, butter bar. Those guys didn't get respect from me just right off rip. They had to show me something, and that motherfucker never showed me anything. So he got no respect. And me and him butted heads a lot because I had the experience, I had the deployments, and guess what he had? He had some fucking certificate that said, yep, you're a lieutenant. Didn't know shit though. And so, yeah, me and him, we had quite a few face-to-face contentious discussions when we were in the service about how the military worked, how it operated, and how combat goes. And I thought one thing, he thought another thing, and well, I was fucking right. So, but I think that guy, because of me, he learned the hard way not to let his rank dictate the amount of knowledge he thinks he has, right? So after me, I'm sure that he never talked sideways to another E4 again. After me, I'm sure that whenever he met someone that knew more or had more experience than he did, I'm sure that after me, he would actually listen and shut the fuck up. But I was the first one. I was his first E4, fucking whatever, man. My company was his first unit. Like, I was his first experience into the military, right? As per having your own unit and being in charge of other soldiers and stuff like that. So, I'm sure that he is a better leader today because of me. At least I would like to think of it like that.
Point in the war, Germany is pretty much pulled out of France. The Allies are there, they're retaking France, but there's a couple of locations where they left a bunch of soldiers behind and they were going to try to hold them, mainly submarine bases on the Atlantic coast. The one that we're going to be talking about today is right outside of Bordeaux. These German submarine bases were basically impenetrable. They had bunkers, pillboxes, casemates, hundreds of thousands of mines around them, and then the concrete was so thick they were basically immune to Allied bombing. And Germany wanted to keep them running as long as possible because they wanted the U-boats out in the Atlantic harassing Allied shipping, which is going to hamper the entire war effort and make it harder for the Allies to push into Germany. So Robert and the commando unit that he's in have been tasked with taking out this massive sub-base right outside of Bordeaux. And this is called Operation Venerable, and it happens on April 14th, 1945. Now, like I said, these submarine bases are basically impervious to Allied bombings, or at least conventional Allied bombings. So the Allied forces decided they were going to use a different type of bomb. Napalm, you know, jungle jelly, sweet, sticky fire. If we can't blow you up, we're just going to slow roast you alive, was basically the plan. So they go in, all the commando troops get ready, they get staged, they napalm bomb the holy hell out of this place, and then they're getting ready to launch their attack. They send scouts forward, scouts come back, and the section that the commando unit that Robert is supposed to attack didn't really get hit by napalm. Okay, the problem, this section also has a massive casemate with a humongous gun, you know, like the...
So that just makes his job insanely, just more difficult.
Big tank turret inside the concrete right there, and it's completely unscathed. And if that casemate stays intact and they launch this attack, that casemate is going to take out all the tanks, and then once the tanks are out of play, they're not going to be able to provide cover for all the ground troops, and the ground troops are going to get absolutely mopped by the machine gun bunkers, and it's just going to be one giant meat grinder. So the captain of this commando unit calls his officers in, Lieutenant La Rochefoucauld included, trying to come up with a plan. To which Robert, hearing the problem, is like, oh, you have a very particular piece of equipment that you need eliminated that's very hard to get to, and you need...
There's an app for that, and it's me.
Need it done quick, easy, and in a hurry?
What I do have.
The cooktop
Yeah,
is cooked.
That's phenomenal. I can't wait to see what happens.
Particular set of skills.
Now, the captain is hesitant. He knows about La Rochefoucauld's background, but he's still like, how is one dude going to go in there and take out this massive casemate by himself? I don't know if it's worth it. To which La Rochefoucauld is basically like, look, I mean, we're going to get slaughtered tomorrow anyways. If I take me and like 3 other dudes with me and we end up dying on this mission and we fail, is us being at the battlefield tomorrow going to make the difference on us getting slaughtered now or then? Like, you might as well let me throw the Hail Mary. And the captain is like, you know what? You're right. Fuck it. What do you need? To which Robert is like, okay.
I never understood why so many times you see a leader afraid to just like throw one person at a huge problem when there is a more than 50% chance of them succeeding. It's just one person that you're throwing at this problem. It's not like you're throwing 10,000 with the risk of losing 9,000. That's a problem. That's a loss. You did nothing there, right? But low risk because you're sending in one, massive reward. Thank God someone actually understands that concept. I've heard so many stories, I've seen so many times where a leader will just simply refuse to sacrifice one, even in a big play, even if the one that's being sacrificed, it was their idea, right? And it's just like, fuck it, man. If you want to just make it happen. And if you fail, we only lost one, we'll recruit another. You know, it's like terminated with the 10. Big streamers just don't get Battlefield. Didn't we do that? I swear I did that, right? Terminated by the Kingard? I even uploaded that. I'll show you after this.
Okay, here's what I need. I need a rubber boat.
Terminated. Thank you so much for the tip.
I need some volunteers, and I need a loaf of bread. I mean, a bunch of plastic explosives. That night, they take the rubber boat, they paddle around the backside of this submarine base with nothing but a single flashlight to light their way. Takes them about 2 hours to get there. They crawl up the beach. They make it to this massive wall around this submarine base. At this point, it's starting to rain, which is actually a good thing because that's going to drown out any little bit of noise that they make. So they get up to this wall. Here's the plan. Robert's going to scale the wall, does that. Now, there's the wall to the submarine base, then there's like a courtyard, and then there's the big bunker with the casemate in it. And in between the wall and this casemate bunker is Cobra netting, that camouflage netting that's kind of like spanned between the two, so aerial reconnaissance can't see what's going on inside that courtyard. Now, Robert, sitting up on this wall, can see that there's a single German guard patrolling this courtyard, just going around in circles all night long. So he takes out his knife, cuts a man-sized hole in this Cobra netting right where he's at, and he just waits till the guard is reasonably close to that spot, jumps through the hole, lands on top of the guard, slits his throat, then leans him up against the wall.
My God, straight fucking Assassin's Creed style, isn't it? My word. So good.
Tries to make it look like he's...
This guy basically got to do what we all dreamed of doing as kids, remember? Watching the James Bond movies. Hell, even playing 007 GoldenEye on the Nintendo 64. You know, at that young age, we all wanted to be spies. We all wanted to be like super elite James Bond type, save the world, get the girl type shit, right? And that's actually the only thing he hasn't done is gotten the girl. Really, because that's like standard when it comes to shit like this, but he's getting to live what we all fantasized of doing as like young children, basically.
Sleeping.
And then, you know, we get a little bit older and we realize very quickly like, yeah, I don't think I can be a spy. Not even because you can't do it, but because like just the prerequisites and qualifications. This guy, he got lucky. Nepotism played a huge part in his success, but he's actually very, very talented. In other aspects, becoming a spy, it takes a lot of hard work, and you gotta be smart, man, intuitive. You gotta have so much. It's wild, man, I suppose, but
Up, my friend. He's dead tired.
From here, his guys drop the plastic explosives down to him. He sneaks over to the casemate, places them where he thinks they need to be to cause the maximum amount of damage, rigs it up to explode in 7 minutes, runs back to the wall. They drop a rope down to him. He climbs up. They get back in the boat. They dip. While they're making their way back in their little rubber boat, massive explosion goes off. Hopefully he did enough damage to take the casemate out for the massive assault tomorrow. Tomorrow rolls around, they launch this massive assault. The casemate never fires a single round. Whatever happened, he apparently was able to disable it enough that they weren't able to use it. Unfortunately, during the assault, which he also partook in, somebody stepped on a landmine, that landmine exploded, and a piece of shrapnel shredded through his leg. He ends up getting hospitalized, has to go through surgery, get a prosthetic kneecap, and by the time he's recovered, the war is over. For his service, he was awarded the French Croix de Guerre as well as the Legion of Honor. Those are equivalent to like the Bronze Star with V device and the Medal of Honor. And then from the British, he was awarded the Distinguished Service Medal and the Distinguished Conduct Medal, which is equivalent to like the American Silver Star and the Distinguished Service Cross. The Distinguished Service Cross is second only to the Medal of Honor. So a bunch of high-ranking awards.
Yeah.
And from here, he basically gets to live happily ever after, gets married, has 4 kids, becomes the mayor of his town for 30 years. And
he did get the chick.
He even picks back up his family's noble title and becomes Count Robert de la Rochefoucauld.
They didn't come out and say he's a pimp, but I know a pimp when I see one. They called him the Count.
Thank you for watching. Best way to support the channel is go buy some merch over at thefatelectrician.com. Quack bang.
Oh, dude, that was good. That was good. My favorite part of this story, man. Well, you guys already know. Y'all were there for it. That was fantastic. Oh, man. I'm actually jealous. I'm jealous of... But at the same time, should we really be jealous of spies? Like, yeah, their job is cool, right? And it's super high speed, secretive, and it's epic. However, spies can't talk about that shit. Think of like your modern day spy today, like a really, really good high speed operative at like the CIA or something like that. They can't tell you about it. They can't even brag about it, right? So like imagine that being your dream as a 6, 7, 8, 9-year-old. I want to be a spy. I want to be like James Bond. And then you go out and you achieve that. You do it. Guess what? You can't tell anybody. You can't brag about your achievements. You can't... Nothing. You can't just be like, hey guys, look what I accomplished. Look what I did. This is so... I'm living my dream. Nope, can't say shit. Can't even tell people what you do. You can't even tell cool stories and have people be like in awe of you or impressed by you. Nope. Nothing. So it's kind of like bittersweet, I suppose. It's kind of bittersweet. You know, if that's your dream, you accomplish your dream, but at what cost? You can't tell anybody. So I guess, you know, you just have to operate off of personal pride for the rest of your fucking existence until you retire or until you stop doing that job. Right? I suppose. Yeah, that mag dump, you know what? You know what would make it? You know what would be so good? You know what would be so amazing? If we could get... He's still got to be, maybe, I don't know. Maybe he didn't survive the war like Robert did. But the guy that he shot at, the German, if he's still alive, I would love to hear his account of that whole story. Just so we can see it from the other end. We can hear it from the other end and how he would describe it. And he would probably describe it the same fucking way. Probably. And I'm sure he'd probably even be able to laugh about it today if he survived the war. If he didn't survive, then I mean, there's nothing there, but... Oh, does he? Shit. I clicked off too soon. I usually... Hold on.
I'm Abigail Spanberger, candidate for governor.
Give me a moment.
The bill, as you know now, does so many great things. What?
Oh my god. I should have just waited. Now I'm paying the price.
Distinguished Service Cross, the Distinguished. Support the channels, go buy some merch over at thefatelectrician.com. Quack bang, out. I can't help but wonder who the Nazi was that he ran into and had the shootout with where they both missed with all their bullets and then decided to turn around and walk the other way. Like, it just feels like that's two main characters running into each other when they weren't supposed to.
Yeah, because it was like, oh, neither of y'all are supposed to die today. Y'all still have too much shit to do. And yeah, I do wonder. Like, I would love to hear it from him, man. What'd you do after? What was your thoughts? Why did you even walk through that door? What were you even doing? Right? And it's just... Yo, John, what up, man? Don, what's good? Yeah, just so I can prove it to you, terminated. Hold on. I got you, bro. Just... what was it called? Let's see. Oh yeah, right here. Dear COD community, your feedback / opinions on Battlefield 6 are irrelevant and don't matter. Ever. For the rest of time. Take your stupid ass ideas about kill streaks. Go back to fucking Black Ops 7. I'm sure that's gonna be a doozy this year, huh? Looks like shit, by the way. But hey, that's to be expected. Alright. We're going to do Terminated next and then yours. Because we're doing Patron / donation requests, and then if you're a patron / donation request, then yeah, but it'll have to be after. After this one. Roth, what's good, Doug? All right. Midwest safety, you say? Is it like... Can I just type in Midwest? Is it somewhat recent? Yep, it's right there, 2 hours ago. Alright, this one's titled, Immature Father Gets His Kids Taken Away. Jeez.
There he is. What's going on, Ricky?
Good, how you doing?
What are you doing?
Just trying to get my kid back, that's it.
Okay. Where's your baby mom at?
At work.
Okay. Who has your kid? Who's that?
Somebody here.
Who's that?
I want my kid back, that's it.
Okay, well, who is it?
Her mom. Her so-called mom.
That's what I was gonna guess, the grandmother.
Okay.
I beat because tomorrow's Mother's Day and I lost my mom. I wanted a little bit of time to myself so I could cope. That's it.
Okay.
I want my kid back, that's it.
Okay.
Y'all shouldn't be here, this is my kid. Y'all didn't her and have a kid.
Is she saying that you can't have the kid?
Apparently, because I'm in distress. I want my kid. That's it.
You guys aren't married, right?
Yes, I'm the parent. I'm the dad.
I said you're not married, right?
No.
Calm down. So, in the state of Ohio,
I wouldn't let you in the house either. You're fucking psycho.
He has custody of her.
Of him?
Him.
It don't matter, bro. It don't matter. I should be able to get my kid.
Okay, where are you staying at?
You a guy? Why does it matter like that, right? Man, I'm just trying to get my kid. That's it.
And go where? That's my thing. Shirtless, out here looking like a crackhead version of Jack Harlow. Come on, dude. Who would give you a kid in this kind of state? But I wouldn't even give you a puppy in this state. What do you mean?
This ain't the way to do it.
How? What's the way to do it? I called her and said, hey, I'm on my way to get my kid. That's it.
Well, banging on the door and screaming and...
Ain't nobody banging on the door.
When's she supposed to be off?
8:30. I want my kid now, though. Not 8:30 now.
You can't wait till 8:30?
No.
Why?
I want my kid now.
Why can't you wait till 8:30?
Because I'm going through it. I want my kid in my arms. That's it. Y'all should know mental illness.
Okay.
Yeah. Why would we give a child to someone that has a mental illness? I need my kid. What? Hold on. Let me just break down what the fuck this... dumbass.
Can't wait till 8:30?
No!
Why?
I want my kid now!
Why can't you wait till 8:30?
Because I'm going through it. I want my kid in my arms.
I want my kid in my arms because I'm going through shit. Y'all don't recognize mental illness when y'all see it? Oh yeah, we do recognize it. We just don't give kids to people with mental illnesses. This guy, oh my god.
That's it. Y'all should know mental illness.
Okay.
I would argue that maybe someone with mental illness who's going through an episode shouldn't be holding a child.
There you
All
go.
that's going to calm me down right now is my kid in my arms and me kissing my kid. That's it.
Well, unfortunately for you, I don't think that's going to be the course of action going
Of course
forward.
you don't, because you the law. Law.
Mr. I dealt with you the other night. You were into it with your girlfriend, and now we're here. That's twice in 3
Ain't nobody
days.
was in it with my girlfriend.
That's
I was
twice
in it with my sister.
in 3 days.
And my girlfriend tried to tell me to calm down, and I got into it. All I'm trying to do is get my kid. That's it.
Well,
Listen to it.
Y'all should know that.
Listen to it.
Have you lost the mom?
Yeah.
I'm not even trying to listen to him because he on Angela's side. I know you by heart, bro. I know you by heart. I know
Bring
you
it down.
by heart.
Bring it down.
You're not going to
Okay.
get
This is... Oh. He looks like he's like 19, 20 years old. Something like that. Dude, you didn't need to have a kid at this age. It's very apparent.
No, bro, by heart. Right there, the curly hair one. I know him. I don't know him.
Off the porch, Mr.
Can you please
Off the porch, Mr.
please talk to them too?
Off the porch, Mr.
Yes, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm here to talk to y'all.
Okay.
The hell,
I thought you were...
these two.
I thought you were there to get the kid.
Two.
Listen.
Not you.
Ricky.
You're not getting your way, Ricky.
Ricky, calm down.
You can talk to him what you want. You ain't getting your way.
I ain't nobody talking about getting my way.
Ricky.
The hell?
When we hit that first 1 million in sales in our first year of business, it was...
Well, you think he's on something? Nah, dude, I think he's sober as fuck, actually. And that's like...
You're upset.
Probably the saddest part. I could understand if you're on drugs, acting all crazy. You'll come down eventually. I think this dude is just straight... This is sober him, just acting out.
You get angry, and you do things that you shouldn't do, okay?
Ain't nobody doing it. Why you throwing my shirt, bro?
Kicking your shirt down to you.
Why is he kicking my shirt?
Settle down.
Why can you correct
What
him?
you're
if I
going
kick
to... Listen. What you're going to do is you're going to work your way into handcuffs. Don't do that, okay?
I'm not trying to. I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry, bro. But why he kick
I have a feeling that
my shirt like that,
Just
bro?
bring it down, okay? So listen, Angela gets off work in less than an hour. All
Who's
right?
this pulling up?
You
Who's
right.
that?
You right. But he a little punk ass,
How old
bro.
is your kid?
He a
Your
little
kid's young.
punk ass, bro.
Hey, stop. How old's your kid?
Where I'm from, the cops will tear you alive.
Mr. If you don't calm down, you'll go in handcuffs and you go to
calm,
jail.
bro. I'm
You are
talking
not
to you.
calm.
I'm talking to
You
you,
are not
bro.
calm. You are screaming. You are causing a scene.
Bro, don't stop looking at me, bro.
Your kid doesn't need to be experiencing all this. Stop.
Freedom of speech, bro. Freedom of speech. Y'all
But
know
you're-
the laws.
Hold on. You're being disorderly is why he's telling you you're going to go into handcuffs, okay?
Yeah, being and causing a disturbance in this very nice neighborhood.
What's going on?
He's a nutcase. They were about every single day.
She's at work right now.
Yeah.
You have the child.
Yep.
When he showed up here, what happened today?
He had called me from Connie's. From that time, I said, okay, because I didn't know anything was going on really, except for I knew that he had been drinking. And she said, no, we've been arguing. And that...
Well, yeah, alcohol, that'll do it too, but I was thinking more so hard drugs.
She didn't want him to come and get him. Anyways, when he had tried to call me back, I didn't answer. And that's when he came.
I was literally gonna say that. Like, it disappears sometimes and then it comes back. I swear to God, it just like depends on what angle you look at him. Like, he's got no jaw at all. It's almost just like lip and then just a beard. It's weird.
Came up, and I didn't even get a chance to tell him, don't come up here. But I did tell him at the door. I didn't unlock the door. I told him, go back down to Connie's. Angela said, you're not getting him. And that's when he started acting like an idiot.
So listen, in the state of Ohio, she has custody. So when she says you can have the kid, you can have the kid.
In the state of Ohio, yeah.
And that's where we are.
Say because you got a wife, right? You able to go home at the end
I don't
of the
have
day
a
for your
wife.
kids.
I don't have
You
a wife.
able to go out home at the end of the day to your kids.
Stop. What you're going to do is work your way to where you won't be able to see your kid for a while.
Thank you very
I
much.
promise you. I promise you. I'm
Baby
not
mama
trying to do
says
nothing.
no.
new.
Baby's not going with him.
Okay.
And
You're not getting the kid tonight.
so he either leaves on his own or he has to go to jail.
There's your options.
I'm talking.
What is he gonna pick? What do y'all think he's gonna pick? You think he's just gonna leave without the kid? Go free? Maybe go home? Play some Xbox? Or do you think he wants to go to jail? I think he wants to go to jail. Yeah.
In Baker. Okay, so you have to leave, or you're going to go to jail. She says you can't have a kid.
Who's she?
Your baby mom.
No, she said she couldn't have
And Angela said you can't have the kid. So here's the deal, Ricky. You don't have to like me. I don't really care. But you're not going to act like a child and throw a temper tantrum out here, okay? If you need counsel...
This guy definitely has kids. The guy talking right now, I can hear it in his voice. He's definitely a father. The way he just spoke to him in comparison to the way that the other officers have been speaking to him. Yeah, this guy's, look, motherfucker. You got two chances, or you either take this ass whooping or you can go to your room.
Get counseling. If you need help, get help. If you need to talk to someone, go talk to somebody. But you are
That's
not...
what I was going to say. 19, 20, maybe 18 years old. Just, he definitely shouldn't be having kids this early. I wouldn't advocate for having kids this early. It's never a good mix because you're too emotional when you're this young. And how can you be a good parent when you're wrapped up in so much emotion? You're not even grown up yet. You're still a child yourself. I know some people can make it work, right? They had kids young and they were fine. It was good. It wasn't even a thing. It probably went well. But then there's other people like this that it's just like,
not getting your child tonight. It is not happening. So please pick your shirt up and leave.
After you kicked it, can you pick it up after you...
I'm not picking your shirt up. You can go without one.
I'll go without one.
Then leave.
Like what?
Right now. If you come back here, you will go to jail.
All right, bro.
Mark my words. All right, whatever.
We'll deal with him again.
yeah.
I'm professional soccer
gonna.
player Mallory Swan.
You're probably going to see, I don't know. Probably going to see him with either the next day or the next few hours. I wouldn't put it past this kid to just like hang around and creep until y'all leave and then just come right back to the house.
We'll deal with him again.
Only 10 minutes later.
Oh my god, 10 minutes. I said a few hours, quite possibly even next day. Not even 10 fucking minutes.
Ricky is found back on the property of the same
knew
house.
it.
No!
Now he's going to jail.
Put your hands behind your back. Put your hands behind your back.
Check my collar, bro.
Turn around. That's why that stroller just got thrown at that house.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, I watched you do it.
He threw a stroller.
I promise I threw it up. I promise I threw it up in the yard.
That was it? All that talk?
I promise it got beat.
All that talk.
All I did was call
Let
my
him know,
brother.
officer.
Let's go.
I swear to God, all I did was call my
Ricky,
brother.
you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in the court of law. You have the right to...
Yeah, dude. Oh my god. Yeah, there is no chin at all. Dude, I think if my niece punches him, he goes down. For real. Look at that. And the only reason it even looks like a full chin is because of this pathetic half-assed beard that he's got going on here. Look at that thing. It almost looks like a cloud in the background. Like, word.
An attorney, anything. You were told to stay off the property. You went back onto the property to get your shirt.
The sidewalk was the property.
You went on her property to get your
my
shirt.
Yes, to walk away.
And then you threw the stroller.
Yes, sir, I did throw the stroller.
And you're intoxicated.
No, I'm not intoxicated.
Yeah, you are. I can smell it.
You can throw a breathalyzer on me.
Sit.
Where we walked down there and continued to run his mouth.
Yeah.
And he came back and he said, "Oh, so I'm not leaving." And then he made some phone calls. And then he came back up here and talked on the phone some more. And then he got his shirt and then he threw the stroller.
And then he threw the stroller.
Yeah, he didn't pound on our door though.
Well,
I was just waiting.
he can't grab her things and throw them.
Yeah. She's had
And we didn't go far, if you couldn't tell.
Yeah, she's had plenty of it.
You have anything else on you?
No, sir.
All right. These are going to go in a bag. Nope. They're going to go in a bag.
I can't hit my vape real quick.
Sit.
Can I please just hit my vape real quick?
Sit down.
Please, King. Can I please?
This kid has never been grounded a day in his life. The only way this kid pulls his head out of his ass is by going to jail, probably for a long time. He's going to keep fucking up until that happens. And then he's going to do 5, quite possibly 10. And then he's going to get out. His best years are gone. Now he's 30, 35. And now he knows. He's like, at 35, he's probably going to be like, oh, damn, man, I I think I acted out too much. Yeah, that's rough. So, I can just tell, dude, Jesus, man. Did kid's never been said no to, never been grounded, probably never got his ass whooped by any kind of parental figure, ever, for anything.
You're testing my patience. Please
I'm not
sit
testing
down.
your patience, bro. You know me, bro. Can I please just hit my vape?
Put your feet in.
He sounds like a mama's boy when he speaks.
Jesus.
Can I please just hit my vape, bro?
No.
What did I do?
Not what you're supposed to.
What did you tell me to do that I
Stay off the property and to leave.
Property, did I?
Yes.
To get my shirt?
Thank you.
And we knew he wouldn't leave. We gave him his chance. You know.
Dude tells himself lies and then believes those own lies and tries to...
You know what I mean? Yep. 2 kids, right?
Yeah, 2.
She was telling me that he has another kid the exact same age with another girl. Yep. Okay, well, try and have a better evening.
Ricky was charged with criminal trespass, disorderly conduct, and probation violation. He is innocent unless proven guilty in a court of law.
This one.
What's he doing?
He was, yeah, I tried talking to him. He was.
Oh, well, this is a first. So, that was the last one? That was it? I've never seen Midwest Safety cover 2 instances in one video. Usually it's just one situation in one video and that's it. So, yeah, I'm guessing they have a lot of stuff to put out and they're just like, fuck it, we're just gonna start splitting these bitches up. Alright.
And he just wants us to leave and let him calm down and stuff.
What's going on, man?
Listen, man, there ain't no different cheers. But the boiling point, I'll snap. Like I told her, like I'll tell you, I don't give
The FBI wants me.
That guy's definitely drunk off his ass. I can hear it in his voice. No, he's not gonna see his kid. Barely. I mean, he's just gotta get a little bit older. He's too immature to be a parent. That's why it's good if he just grows the fuck up and then maybe comes back. Comes back more mature with more knowledge, with a better temperament, because I mean, if that was just a lover's quarrel, his behavior, I could probably find a way to justify it. Maybe his chick's crazy. Maybe she just be pushing his fucking buttons and he finally snapped on this broad. But nah, there's a kid involved, so really, it doesn't even matter if the girl's insufferable. You ain't doing shit with that kid behaving like that, so, you know.
What is going on, though? It's obviously something happened to get to this point, so what is going on?
But you don't realize.
Okay. So
from where you're from, where I'm from, I don't care.
Okay, well, tell me what's going on. What happened tonight?
I'm ready to explode.
Why?
It went down.
What went down?
It don't matter. I'm not a rat. I will not do that. I will not go fucking far. But I'm ready to explode. Like I told her, it's best that you guys leave me alone, because if not, you guys will. I promise.
You got to understand that we have to figure out what's going on. We can't just come here and leave.
Listen, I'm that crazy motherfucker that does not care.
Okay.
Back in the day, this is the way we used to do things. Throwing fists was not a problem. So, I'm not afraid to go back to the way it used to be. I'm telling you.
Do you live here?
Who are we talking about, man? Are you talking about fighting the cops? Are you talking about fighting someone that's currently in the house? Who called the police? But fucking, like, who?
No, I don't. This is my nephew's house. This is my sister's house.
Okay.
I didn't deserve.
Okay.
I'm mad about it, and this is the old me coming back out. And this is my dad right here. So that's for you. Please tell these guys I am fucking around.
He's saying I'm not saying it. I believe you.
Fucking around.
All right. I believe you.
All right.
But I'm trying to get it to the point where we don't have to do any of that.
I don't know how you guys did things, whenever I left, but we didn't give 7 on what cop was on patrol back.
Oh, dude, he's drunk. He doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. I think you're just drunk and angry. And I think before this, you were sober and secretly angry. Now you're drunk and all that sober anger is coming out, I guess. I don't know.
Did we or not? We did not give 7. If it was me, there was 20 others.
All right, just let us know what your plans are tonight. Like, where are you going to go from here?
Whose house is this? Did he break the table and stuff?
Yeah,
he's had a whole bottle of bourbon about this tall.
Okay.
I've never seen him like this.
If you don't understand.
Broke the table.
Are you wanting him to go to jail for the table and
you are,
stuff?
but we don't want that.
I'm not worried about the table. I just don't want him to shit up.
Okay, but we gotta have a plan going forward.
Well, I'm gonna stand here until I get sober, and then we'll go from there. If I sleep on this man's couch, I'll sleep on this man's couch. If not, then I won't.
So is your nephew okay with you staying here tonight?
You can ask him. He's right there.
I don't know. Are you gonna continue up?
Just let me calm down. Nobody's seen me on liquor pissed before.
Yeah, I.
Okay, so he got drunk and probably got into some kind of altercation with his nephew, and they're both hefty fuckers. Look at them. They're both tall. They're both big. And I have a feeling that when you're both equally the same size, the person that's not drunk is probably going to win. Because you can fight better when you're not drunk, man. Being drunk simply just gives you the courage. It doesn't give you the ability. So, yeah, probably a good thing this didn't come to blows, because drunk dude probably would have got his ass whooped by nephew. More than likely. And yeah, stop fucking shit up.
Get that, but like, that can't just be my stuff.
I get it. I'll make it right.
Yeah, but like, that's not the point. The point is, if you just didn't get up, we wouldn't have to do it.
I get it.
You get it?
I'm in the wrong for that. Just let me stand here and just mellow.
He said you could stay here and have everybody give you your space so you can calm down, all right? Is it the plan to let him have his space and just let him cool down? He's cooling down a little bit, I can tell by the...
But I'm not trying to...
Janik provides...
Yeah, he's gonna keep talking himself into a hole. Like, it's fine. He just can't shut the fuck up. But what drunk person can?
You or you. I don't give a who you are. I'm your chief, sergeant, whatever the fuck you are.
Stop talking.
I'm just telling you, you guys do not want to go back to what it used to be.
Oh my god, dude, stop. Earlier, he was like, back in the day, if there was a problem with me, they'd send like 25 officers. And they just sent y'all. I'll tell you one thing right now. You don't want me to turn into the man I used to be. Because the man I used to be, take all you fucking cops out right now and I wouldn't even lose the hat off my head. That's right. Shut up. Bro, no one's afraid of you. These cops are about to let you go and all you gotta do is calm the fuck down and be quiet, and you're just like, listen, don't think for 1 second that if you decide to get froggy, that I won't leap first. Oh my goodness. Dude, you know what? I hope you go to jail, actually. You're pissing me off.
So we're gonna get out of the way.
I'm one of them motherfuckers that I do not care if you guys haul me away in cuffs. I do not care.
You know what? Fuck it. Take him. I feel like that's where this is going. Just expedite the process.
Is everybody okay with that?
Sure. All right. So we're going to do that bottle of liquor.
Thanks, guys.
Marty. Are we good to go?
Where are you going?
Well, my arm's a little... I'm probably going to get a bottle of liquor and...
I think you're drunk already, James.
Well, hey, listen. I'm on private property. I'll drink all the I want. If you guys come back, then it's on me.
So you're staying here?
Is that what you guys want to do? I'm on private property right now.
Does it matter?
Correct.
Yeah, correct.
You are on private property.
So I can drink 15 bottles of liquor if I want to. And none of you guys
I can't. I'm not going to let you walk into the public.
No.
Intoxicated.
I didn't break the fucking laws.
You did.
I mean, if you leave right now... I mean, the whole drunk in public... I've been drunk in public before, but I wasn't harassing anyone. I've been drunk in public a lot. I don't think being drunk in public is the problem. It's just when you're drunk and being disorderly, that's the problem. And something tells me that you're not going to be able to walk 10 feet without being any kinds of disorderly. So that in lies the problem.
You broke all his stuff in his house. If he wanted to, he could go to jail.
If he wants to arrest me, then he can press charges.
He doesn't want to.
Press charges?
No, I just want you to.
If you want, hey, I'm telling you right now as I'm standing here, if you want to press charges, you can press charges.
No, I'm not going to. But I just want you to simmer the down.
Now, once I hit that alley or that main street, then I'm breaking the law.
As soon as you come down them steps, you're breaking the law.
No, this is private property.
It's called public intoxication and disorderly conduct.
This is private property. You gonna arrest me?
I will.
Now, if you want to arrest me, that's fine and dandy.
I mean, they can get him for public intoxication, but I just feel like public intoxication is one of those things where, like, it has to be so blatant, like this guy. Because, again, man, I've been drunk in public a lot. At the beach, man, like especially for places that it's not really frowned upon. Like, I've gone to the mall drunk. I've been at the strip mall drunk, dude. Like, I don't know, one time went to Buffalo Wild Wings, and Buffalo Wild Wings right there by the strip mall. Got drunk as fuck at Buffalo Wild Wings and just started walking up the strip mall, man. Just going into stores, looking around. Wasn't a dick. No one had to call the police, but I was drunk as shit. So, like, I feel like this law, it doesn't apply to everybody because it doesn't have to, right? In this case, oh, it will.
It's gonna take more than you and her. I'll guarantee you that.
If you're gonna stay,
that's fine. You know, I love how they say that and they completely forget that a taser exists. I can take all 5 of you. Yep, sir, you're absolutely right. You can. That's why we have this. Bzzz. Dumbass, get him in the car.
Here all night and calm down.
You want to go and do
All of these tough guys always think that officers will resort to fisticuffs or hand-to-hand to arrest them. No, man, I just taser you. Or they'll just outsource their work to the canine, and he'll be more than happy to fuck you up.
I'm sorry, excuse me? Did you just threaten my life?
No.
Hold on, let me see.
It's gonna take more than you and her. I'll guarantee you that.
If you're gonna stay here all night and calm down.
You want to go home to your family?
I'm sorry, excuse me? Did you just threaten my life?
No.
Okay, then don't say stuff like that, because that's exactly what that sounded like.
No.
If I can take you to jail right now for disorderly conduct by public intoxication. I'm not trying to. I'm trying to get you to go inside and quit acting like this.
Nobody.
Yes, you are, obviously.
Well, you can get in your cruiser and head back down the road.
It's not how it works, unfortunately.
No disrespect.
We weren't here earlier and you were wiling out. We were called to calm you down.
Officers, there's no point, and I would hate situations like this. There's no point in talking to this person. Man, just leave. Fucking fuck it. And then he's eventually, I mean, dude, I'm telling you, this is so, dude, if I was a cop, this is one thing that I would not do. I would not argue with a drunk person. I'm not arguing with a drunk person, and I'm not arguing with a child. That's 2 types of people I will not engage in verbal arguments with because it's pointless. You don't get anywhere. No one learns anything. And it's futile, right? Fucking leave. And in 10 minutes, when he starts walking, arrest his ass. That's it. And then you have every reason. But I get it, right? If y'all arrest this man, y'all have to fill out paperwork. And who knows, man? That shit is...
Come by when I'm sober. I'll come by.
You're not sober right now.
Okay, so leave and let me calm down. I'm telling you, as my father standing there, my nephew standing there, my sister standing here, I do not care.
Then why don't you just walk in the back of the cruiser and get in?
Do you want me to do that? I will do that. Put me in custody. Let's see.
Jameson, a famously smooth whiskey from a famous...
My fucking god, dude. That's just...
With whatever's thrown...
Get her.
Are you gonna fight
But we will make a scene on the way there, I'll guarantee you that.
Oh, so resisting arrest, go for it.
Is that what you want?
James.
Go ahead and step down here and put your hands behind your back.
Yeah.
Yep, you're under arrest.
He's had enough.
You're gonna have to back up.
I've never been in trouble in my life.
Oh my god, you talked all that shit and then just gave up? You talked all that shit. And then you gave up, and then you folded like a lawn chair from Dollar General. Are you kidding me? I just watched all that build up for you to just cave like that? Like a flimsy ass deck of cards. I was expecting a taser. I was expecting you to fight. Man. And you just give up so easy. Oh, here you go. My bad. I forget what I was saying. I was just talking. I knew you were just talking, but I was hoping that this was anticlimactic as fuck.
Listen, just so you guys know, I'll never fight you guys. If you guys gotta do what you gotta do, I'll never fight you.
Well, we appreciate that.
Yep.
What happened to this fucking? It's gonna take more than the 4 of you to take me in. Oh, here you go, officer. Here you go. Don't worry. I was just practicing a role for a movie that I'm starring in the year 20 never, right? And I was getting into character. Just disregard everything I just said. The fuck?
I'll get along with you. I will. I can't see.
There you go.
You do what you have to do. Hey, you guys are some good, outstanding officers.
All we wanted was for you to go inside, man.
Oh, you're good. Hey, listen. I've never been in trouble in my life. Ever in my life.
And we tried to keep that way tonight.
Never.
All right, James. Unfortunately, we weren't getting anywhere, so...
pushed him off the steps.
I know if he stayed here, he'd walk.
Well, that's the thing. I wasn't leaving. I was waiting for him to get here just in case anything happened. So
Right. Yeah, I mean, I don't care if he stays here sober, but when he's like that, he'll go right back over there.
Okay.
Thanks, guys.
Yep.
Yeah, you're right, Katai. He really wanted to be king of the trailer park.
Very much.
That's why the safest move is always to listen. Letting a person vent can bring them down from a peak of anger or confusion. But in law enforcement, compassion does.
Yeah, that too. Or just, you got to read the situation, but you could just fuck off for a little while. Lots of these people, man, if you give them enough rope, they will hang themselves. And then all you got to do is just come back and slap the cuffs on. Some situations, there's not much you can do, right? You're definitely not going to argue with this fucking person. There's no point, man. And even if you do have a positive tone, even if you are being respectful, the fact that they're drunk, they don't hear it that way. All they hear is contempt. All they hear is anger from you. All they hear is your judgment, right? So it doesn't really matter. Sometimes, man, like with the kid, they say, come back or you're going to jail. Well, guess what? 10 minutes passed. He came back, went to jail. Sometimes that's all you can do. Sometimes that's what you have to do. You fuck off for a little while, come back. They're gonna fuck up. So let's check out some of the comments, shall we? Just because you can make a child doesn't mean you should. Yeah, Ricky should not have a kid at all. If you're having a mental breakdown, you don't need to be with your kid. Yes. The mom needs to get a protection order for her and the child. What's crazy is, like, he's got another kid by another chick that's roughly the same age, which means he was just out here slanging D to multiple ladies with no rubber, just not giving a damn. Caution to the fucking wind, dude. I don't know, man. That's wild to me. Oh, that was good. Let me check. Let me check this real fast. Because, by the way, tonight I might be streaming some Destiny Rising on Twitch. If y'all want to tune in for that. Shit. Let me see something. No, not there. Here. Yeah. Okay. There's like one more. Hold on. Vegan booty is banned from England, and 95% of gamers can't beat this game. I'm not sure if I want to... As long as I got the Fat Electrician one knocked out, that's... I got some other Patreon requests in here that I may either just record or... But... The Venezuelan drug boat. Do y'all want to check that out real quick? Habitual line crosser. The other patron requests, I don't think those people are here at the moment. I'll check this out because it's relatively short, and then we'll see where we go from there. I'm probably gonna eat here soon. I'm getting hungry as fuck, and I haven't eaten all day. I ate coffee. About it. Drug boat. What the fuck did I just do? DeRozier, what's good, man? I heard people getting arrested for saying they like bacon in the UK. Yo, hold on. Yeah, from like 2 weeks ago. Man arrested for saying we love bacon. And this is the UK? I don't get it. Why are we arresting people? Was it a really, really pathetic Karen vegan that got really, really mad and wrote a strongly worded email to the city or something to have this man arrested? Seems pretty pathetic to me to get arrested for something like that. Or maybe it was just a funny way of him saying we love cops. Because pigs, bacon, right? I don't know. Maybe that was his way of supporting police. There's a short. We'll see.
We want bacon! To be honest,
we're talking to all your
right.
How can you arrest him for saying he likes bacon?
And what's that? You're not allowed to say you like bacon, but he's around here, lad.
Can you explain that to me, please?
Yeah, so it's anything that might be perceived to be racially abusive.
The UK continue
racially abusive. To who? Is it racially abusive to the pigs? Are the pigs sensitive about that? Y'all must have just talked to one, huh? And he opened up about the feelings of all pigs worldwide. He sat down with Oprah and was like, "Listen, this whole bacon thing, it's really starting to hurt our feelings, you know? So probably stop."
Used to get crazier. Is it a country or a prison island? Let me know what you think in the comments and chat.
Yeah, dog. And people here in America like to bitch all the time about, oh, freedom of speech and there's blah, 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 all this stuff. It's worse in some other countries. We're allowed to say that here in America. Guaranteed, bro. I can go outside right now and scream it. Really. And the beautiful part is that I'll probably have a neighbor, whether it be one house, two house, three, four houses down, that if I go out there and scream it, you know what they're gonna do? They're gonna be like, I love bacon too! My man. Love you. Thanks for showing up. Thanks for coming out. Hell yeah. That's pretty pathetic, UK. Y'all should check to see who's in power. And that'll tell you everything you need to know about why people are getting arrested for saying they love bacon. Right? Who did y'all put in charge? Because usually it's a direct reflection of who you put in charge. So, you diagnose that, then you figured it out. Oh, is it Muslims? Why? Because of Ramadan? Because they don't eat that stuff for a certain amount of time? Oh, wah. Okay, cool. I fed that shit to a fucking prisoner when I was deployed. Why? He spit in my face. I was like, you know what? You get this all fucking week. And guess what? He didn't eat it. But he couldn't say that I wasn't feeding him. Because fuck that guy. Gotta give respect to get it. And on top of that, oh, wah. It's not like he was directly making, yeah, we love bacon. Sorry that you don't eat it for a specific amount of time because of your culture and your religion. That's cool that you have that, cool, but it's not going to get me to be like, no, I'm not going to say that. But I do, though, and it's the truth. And I like, was he out there just to troll? I don't know, man, probably. But again, you start arresting people for this. Where does it end? You know what I'm saying? Where does it end? You arrest someone for I like bacon, then you gotta arrest people for I like avocados, and I like burgers, and I like chef salads, and I mean, dude, we start a... And you guys know me, I have a deep-seated hatred for mayonnaise. You really think I'm gonna get upset, call my congressman, and ask them to fucking arrest you because you said you love mayonnaise? I hate it deep in my soul. For real. Like, for them, it's a culture thing. It's a religious thing. For me, it's deep-seated hatred. I don't know what it is. I just can't stand it. So, like, if I wanted to be petty... God. Oh no, what are we doing? Oh, Jesus Christ. First time using a punching bag? Yeah, I think you're strong enough, that's for sure. What was I doing? I'm glad you think mayonnaise is good, Jeff. I can't. I'll throw up. It's like, and it's not just me that hates it, like my body hates it. Like I will have a visceral reaction to mayonnaise. I've ate it before and I've thrown up. Man, my body can't take it. Dude, like, and I'll know too if it has mayonnaise because my stomach won't feel good. Like, ugh. I gag thinking about it. All right. Usually we can cover more. In the next YouTube stream, we'll cover more because we probably won't have to cover another super long video. The amount of time that went by between this stream and last stream, that's not going to happen again. All right. And then the amount of time that went by between the last YouTube video that I uploaded, that won't happen again either. I had plans that didn't fall through, so we're good. I can get back to daily shit. And I also took some time out to play a new game that I wanted to play. All right. But guys, gals, see, I like sour cream. And I know some of y'all might say, oh, it's a derivative of mayonnaise. It's just different. It's just the way that mayonnaise tastes. I just can't. I can't do Miracle Whip. I can't do it at all. which is like, dude, actually, that's a lie. I did eat today. I ate some mini corn dogs, and I didn't have any mustard. Or no, I didn't have any ketchup, but I did have mustard, and I just ate mini corn dogs with mustard. I know there's some people out there that fucking despise mustard. They'd look at me like I was disgusting, but I don't mind it. I can eat it with just I can eat it with just ketchup or just mustard or both. Really. So. All right, guys, gals, I'm out. Love y'all. Thanks for hanging out. We'll probably be live either. I'll probably be uploading tomorrow, to be honest, and then the next day we'll probably be live. But the next day we'll probably be live on Twitch doing music. So if y'all have music requests, put that shit in, or you can just wait till I go live and put your requests in the chat while we're there. So if y'all need anything, if anything pops off as far as like news that y'all want me to know about that I could quite possibly do a video on, let me know. And put it in the Discord and just at me. So, all right, love y'all. Have a good Friday. We might be live again this weekend. I might go live tonight on some Destiny Rising, slapping the fuck out of these nerds in PvP. So that should be fun. But hope y'all had fun. I always have fun with y'all. I will. I'll see y'all soon. All right. Bye, guys.